Hello, 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 hello. Hey guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hey Edward. Hey, good timing, Edward. Orlando. Sachi. Good to see you guys. My left missed. Sorry, man. Sorry to hear that. I hope you have a good time hanging out. Double King. Sam Dark. Chris. Good to see you guys. So what we're talking about today, can you hear you? All right. What we're talking about today is going over some legendary monster design. And let's do some scooching, just a little bit of casual scooching. So what we're doing, we're talking about Nimble 5e, Legendary Monster Design. So last time we had a few, some pretty big changes to how Legendary Monsters work. Ooh. So we had some pretty big changes to how Legendary Monsters work. We have this super duper handy dandy table where we can make them and make them balanced a lot more easily. We tweaked last stand, so rather than when he has like the last 20 hit points he has, it's sort of, it was hard to calculate. So like some people, so it was like he has 75 hit points, and then after he's taken 50 damage, for instance, then he's in his last stand. But some people count down, so they'll start at 75 and they'll just subtract. And other people will start at 0 and they'll add up as a creature takes damage. So it was a little bit inefficient to do it that way. And sometimes you could just take one big hit and go from like 30% all the way down to 0, and then like you never get to the last stand. So that cool mechanic that is supposed to make the combat swing back and forth and make it feel really cinematic and fun. It's sort of like it was a whimper. So we tweaked it so that when legendary monsters drop to 0. Instead, now they're dying just like heroes. So heroes and legendary monsters are similar in that regard, and each one has like a percentage of his hit points. So this one is 20 hit points. So when he hits 0, Pudge is dying, and if he takes 20 more damage, he dies. Until then, and then they get some cool ability. The other probably bigger thing that we changed is we removed legendary resistances altogether. Now, I don't know if that's a change that's going to stick. Some people really like that change. Other people felt like the thing that was there was cool. It was very GM dependent, so some GMs could use them in annoying ways, and others like it was something that I never felt like I wanted. I never wanted to do that. So can we keep legendary resistances gone? Um, can we keep legendary resistances gone, but keep that cool mechanical feel that some of them had, to where it felt like fighting a Dark Souls, Dark Souls, yeah, Dark Souls like monster, where you can sort of figure out the puzzle of the monster, that kind of thing. So a few of the monsters had like a cool. Like when you a lot of them aren't updated yet. So here's General Flameheart. Legendary resistance. He has 2, or he had 2. On use, all areas ignited by Molten Fury are extinguished. Ooh, Molten Fury. So that's something that happens when. So Molten Fury is he puts this AOE fire effect throughout the battlefield, and it like makes you have like less and less and less space. And then this extinguishes. So you force him to use a legendary resistance, and it's actually something good. So can we keep this mechanic, like when something happens, all areas ignited by Molten Fury are extinguished? I think that kind of thing would be pretty sweet. Sam says, I hope we can lose them. Always feel cheesy. Yeah. Um, I spent a substantial amount of time thinking about and typing like how do we put like how can I explain legendary resistances in a way that isn't unfun? And so here's legendary resistances, but don't use it this way, and don't use it that way, and don't use it this way, and like it feels bad to this, so like be careful with this. So like most of the effort was like making it just not feel bad. Whereas instead, like it's just a band-aid, and if we don't need the band-aid because like our spells aren't like busted, like the spells are fun to play, like they're fun to have cast on you. What is this? Ron25? Is that a super chat? Is that what a super chat looks like? I've never had one. Wow, that's cool, man. You definitely don't have to do that. But hey, appreciate. I don't know what a Ron is. I got 25 Rons, guys. Thank you so much, my left mist. Love what I've seen so far. How easy do you think homebrewing classes or subclasses for Nimble 5e will be? Will you provide a guide for it? Yes, actually. Yes. So something I was thinking about today is not in the book, but just as a free download on the website. So let me actually show you guys something that I was thinking about. Actually, I don't think I can pull it up right now. So something that I was thinking about, I've been thinking a lot about the license and like, creators license, all that stuff. I just want people to make stuff. Like I don't want to harass people about anything. But so I was thinking about coming up with a document like, if you want to make new creatures, like if you want to make content for Nimble, if you already have 5e content, here's how you translate it. Say someone already's published a venture, they want to make a Nimble version of it. I want to make that as easy as possible. So change these skill checks into that skill check, change these DCs into this DC, and tweak these monsters this way. Like you don't have to, but it's easier. It'll save the GM a little bit of time. If you want to make new spells, new items, these are like this is what a tier 1 spell, this is what a tier 7 spell is. This is the flavor for the Radiant School, that kind of stuff. So I was thinking about having maybe just a one sheet, a one pager, maybe 2-page thing with just some like sort of behind the screen advice on the development of it and like sort of my thinking. If you want to make content that feels like Nimble and it feels like it fits right in, yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that. Ron is Romanian Liu. Hey, wow, that's super cool. I was just thinking of like Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, which is also cool. That's really cool. Romania for the win. So yeah, I was thinking about just having like a behind the scenes, like here's how you would make a subclass. It's these levels, and like the level 3 ability generally should be something like this. The level 7 ability, in sort of this wheelhouse. And if you know where like it's like quote unquote supposed to be, you can tweak it, you can deviate from it. Here's the wording for this kind of thing, that kind of stuff. That like those kinds of design guidelines, I think would be pretty helpful. And I don't think every GM would want that, but if you're like designing homebrew stuff for it, I want to make that as easy as possible. So I think I'm just going to include that as a free download. Once all the books are done, I'll probably work on that. You guys remind me if I do forget, but I think that kind of thing would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. So yeah, how to make a hero, maybe how to make a story-based subclass, that kind of thing. Yep. So that things aren't busted or boring. Because like both busted and boring would kind of be not that fun. Sometimes a cool idea gets cut because the vibe is off. Yeah. Lacrimel, quiet as. Hey, good to see you, man. Edward, this score is full of homebrew classes already. Some folks have really ran with the game. Yeah, I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple. They're pretty sweet. Some really cool ideas. And yeah, if there's a little bit of guidance, then so like a lot of the ideas are really cool, but some of the ideas are like reword it or remove the limitations because like we don't need limitations, like little things like that you wouldn't necessarily think of unless like you're told like, oh yeah, it's obvious. I don't need this to be like per short rest because no other ability is per short rest. I don't need this to be per encounter because even if they did that every turn, spend every action on it, it still wouldn't be busted. So just go ahead and remove it. So like that kind of stuff, like keep it as simple as possible so that like the thinking and the tactics and stuff can really shine. And then like the super duper busted stuff, you can do that, but you have to remove something else in order to give yourself that design space to do the cool, fun, busted stuff. Okay, community would love some design guidelines. All right, yeah, all right, I'll definitely do that. That would be really great. It's helpful, Double King says, to feel confident that we can balance new homebrew content appropriately. Yeah, and I don't know that I'm going to go so far as like share like the spreadsheets. I could like the balancing spreadsheets because for players, the figuring out the balance of things is like part of the fun. Um, so I don't want to spoil the fun for people who are playing. If they go to the website and they just download like, oh, here's the best weapon for your class, like just mathematically, this is the best weapon. Like figuring that out because a lot of the weapon systems and attack systems and abilities and stuff, it's pretty subtle. It's pretty subtle and pretty deep, like which things are best. So I don't think I'm going to include that, but like things that are more helpful for like design guidelines for people who are making homebrew stuff. Yeah. Jan, absolutely loving Nimble and really want to see it grow. Homebrew is great, but curious if you're planning to release more content after the core books are done. I mean, I enjoy it, so like I'm not burnt out on it or anything. So I was not planning on doing this. So yeah, and yet here we are. Yeah, I'd like to do like maybe a more full bestiary or like another adventure or I don't know, there's more things. Stabs his bucket of cool stuff, cauldron of some things. Looking through the gym guide this afternoon. Question: I know it's still in progress, but will you shift the bestiary to match closer to the monster builder table? Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. So the bestiary. So most of the bestiary is basically just like layout. It's just so it's obviously like not done. Like here's sample encounters. We have like goblins and stuff here, and I did get some new art for some of these. And so I was actually playing. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. I was playing with some new iconography for health and armor in kobolds. Should not actually have medium armor. So would something like this be helpful? I don't know if this is final design by any means, but so like Kobold Sneak has 24 hit points, Kobold Klinger has 24 and heavy armor. I think something like that would be cool. Initially, I had them so it's not an error, like they're not like supposed to be centered, like they could be. But I kind of liked it, sort of off kilter. You can see the icon better, and it's a little bit easier to read, and it's a little bit quirky. I don't know. I'm still noodling on that. I'm definitely still noodling on it. I did like the icons from the previous version, but I do like the simplicity of this. But I think the icons do help sort of break up like the text-heavy block. Icons, yeah, icons are pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. The more design, insight, and I could probably even include like the InDesign document of like here's like a blank page. So if you guys wanted to like design things to look more like Nimble, I could do that kind of stuff too. The more design, insight slash guidelines for GMs to create stuff, the better. Yeah. So yeah, so this would definitely be more for like people creating content, like people homebrewing and that kind of stuff. But yeah, yeah. It meshes really well with the aesthetic. I like it, not necessary, but yeah, okay. I like it off center. Okay, nice touch. As a graphic designer, I love everything about the looks. Nice. Thank you, Malefic Mist. Malefic Mist. DM Todd Bloom. Hey, DM Todd Bloom. I like special icon. They make it easy to see important details like this. Yeah, community has some really good. Yeah, I've noticed that you guys are quick to pick up on all the design cues, which is pretty sweet. So I want to start with a couple of the legendary monsters, and maybe we can think through some things together, you guys and gals, and then maybe we can do some more of the regular monsters and do some layout stuff and do some cool things. So we have Grimbeak, the Unyielding. So Pudge the Blunder is in a pretty good spot. Pudge the Blunder is in a good spot. And actually, let's double check. Yeah. So this one is fine. Grimbeak the Unyielding. And I think this should be Grimbeak the Unyielding. Level 3. So at level 3, the save should be 11. So this save is just a bit spicy. Just a little bit spicy. So I did get feedback from one author who commented on the Last Stand of Grimbeak. Let me see if you guys want to weigh in on this. He said, so I'll go and read it, and you guys tell me what you think. Last Stand, Grimbeak is dying. 30 more damage, and she dies. Until then, her attacks use D10s instead. So the comment that I got back was he wanted to clarify her attacks use D10s instead of D6s. Yes, that is the case, but is that necessary? Is that necessary? And like we might actually just have like enough space to just like add it without going to a different line. So if that kind of thing is helpful, then I can add it. But if it's extraneous, then like I want to not have it. Not necessary. Sam Dark. Okay. Not necessary. All right, so we've got a cool. Don't think it's needed. Yeah, I didn't think so, but what do you think of Warren Rawlings? What do you think of the Dragon Bane's Bestiary with a random dice roll table to determine the special attacks of the monsters? Is the Dragon Bane's Bestiary is that a thing? What is that, Warren? Dragon's Bane? No, I've got Forbidden Lands. Whenever people mention like a new thing, like, oh, I've got that, and no, it's always Forbidden Lands. I can never remember the name of that. Dragon's Bane. Oh, Dragon's Bane. It's like the Swedish or the Nordic game. I don't know much or if anything about it. If you want to send a link or a screenshot of something, we can maybe drag it in and think about it together. Anthony Lutmer on page 36 of the GM guide, part of the spectrum. Yeah, I fixed that. So yeah, all the monsters up here, it's super duper. Yeah, so I think I already fixed that. So all of this is going to move around. So I'm not worried about little weird oddities like that. Yeah. Most of it was just for layout, just so people can see which monsters are coming. Seems understandable. Okay. Funny thing, I've been using legendary actions equals number of players since forever to balance my encounters. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it is a very solid game design choice. But if it's more than just legendary actions, if they can move and do a thing each turn, it really makes the players think differently. They have to act differently. They can't just play the same way because, like, he can move and attack and then move somewhere else before before a full round happens. So, like, tactically, it makes your brain kind of hurt. Like, not in like overly complicated way, but like, ooh, I need to like reorient myself to this monster. Like, this is on a different level than like just like a pack of goblins. Sounds like the Chimera from Theros 5e book. That's one of the ones that I don't have. Roll table for all the heads and body parts. Oh, okay. Okay, so we've got Tidebreaker, Hunter of the Reefs. He is, I think probably having him as a level 5 thing is probably... I don't know that players should be fighting dragons at level 5. And we already have a level 5 Manticore. So, so we've got, let's see, we've got level 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7. So 7 is probably the lowest level that I would want a dragon, you know. Level 7, another 7, 8, 9. So maybe we could use like another level 8 dude. Maybe we can use another level 8 dude. Forbidden Lands has the same thing as Dragon's Bane monsters. Okay. The GM rolls a d6 to see what the monster does that turn. Edward, or whoever, if you want to tell me like what page of the thing it's on, I can open it up. We can take a look. I've got to move all my commander decks. Forbidden Lands. I've got my other camera here. We can actually just look at the books together if you guys want to. Have you thought of health pools and something changes after each pool goes down? That's sort of what we have. If I understand what you're talking about, Fates Reforged, Forbidden Lands Game Master's Guide, page 93. Edward, you are actually the best. Look how cool this book is. It's backwards in the camera, but look how cool that is. Oh, nice. And, like, I bought this and I just hadn't even really opened it up. It comes with like little stickers. I guess it's like a hex scroll type of thing. You can like put things. I should probably, if I had more time, I'd read this. I always felt like dragons were something for level 10 plus party. Yeah. Yeah. Let's take a look at Forbidden Lands. I hope you guys don't mind a little camera in my face. We'll see if this works. Turn that light on. Let's do a little bit of research before we cook too much on. Yeah, you guys can see that, right? Let's do a little bit of research. And let me see if I can. Can I do this? Can I properties? Let's change this. Change this. Go up here. Turn it on. Transform. Reset transform. There we go. All right, so let's shrink me down here. So yeah, we can see each other. Well, I mean, I can't see you. I can see you. All right, so let's shrink me down here and let's move my little trackpad out of the way. Here we go. Forbidden Lands, and that was Game Master's Guide, page 93. I don't think it's need for Nimble. Most laser monsters don't need 6 attacks. Yeah, just my opinion. Double King, hey, have fun, man. Free League makes beautiful stuff. Yeah, they certainly do. Ooh, this is a Smith Zone thing. Page 93, Bestiary. What do you guys think about this art style? Like, it's something that I could get used to, but it's not up my alley. It's not something that I naturally gravitate toward. Oh, that's where my bookmark was. Okay. Attributes: strength 16, agility 3, wits. Oh, I like wits. 5, empathy 3. Is this good enough for you guys to see? Or should we Ooh, there we go. Zooming in. Hey, Bruno. Yeah. I prefer the art of Vason or Symbarum. All right, let's take a look. Monster attacks D6. Okay, so D6 and on a 1. Let me see. Do I have my dice? I've got dice around here somewhere, right? Oh, here it is. Oh, watch out, players. You guys are going to get it. 6, rock throw. The int throws a huge boulder or another heavy object at an adventurer within short range. Okay, abstracted range then. Roll for the attack with 12 base dice and weapon damage 2, blunt force. If the attack hits, the victim is also thrown to the ground. Interesting. So that's a cool concept. I don't know how I feel about having. So you got. You have to roll to see what you can do, and then you have to. What is this? You have to like find 12 d6s. Am I understanding that properly? You find 12 d6, or you can't, like, you probably have them, but you have to count them up, and then weapon damages. So is it for like every 6? I know Free League loves to do stuff like whenever you roll a 6. So I assume that's the same. So like whenever you roll a 6, you deal 2 damage, and if there's any 6s, they're knocked prone. So you guys tell me if I'm understanding that properly. Art style works really well of the game for Forbidden Lands. The art style works for the style of the game for Forbidden Lands really well. Okay, yeah. So you guys tell me, Edward, am I understanding that correctly? Oh, int hug. If you roll a 5, let's say we rolled a 5. The int embraces an adventurer and tries to devour. Oh, okay, it tries to devour her. 12d6 is pretty standard for Forbidden Lands. Oh, is it? Okay. You must have. So maybe you have like those small d6s, like those really tiny ones, like when you're playing like Warhammer. I think like different games like that will sometimes have like a bunch of like little d6s. I mean, like if that's the style of the game, then like yeah, you're used to it. You just grab a fistful of them and you chuck them, which can feel pretty good. And I would probably like color the d6 like a different color, like the 6 a different color. Like everything's blank except for the 6. Like if that's all that matters, then like I might just do that just so it's a little bit easier. The int embraces an adventure and tries to devour her. Roll for the attack with 8 base dice and weapon damage 1, blunt force. The attack succeeds. The adventurer is trapped in the int's body and can only escape by inflicting 4 points of damage in a single blow or be saved from the outside. I do like that the damage is low. That's kind of cool. Like, deal 4 damage. That's pretty sweet. Christian grip. The int grabs an adventurer and tries to rip her apart. I like the flavor of this. Ooh, the bloodling. Oh, now that's cool. Now that is cool. And this kind of art would definitely be cheaper to produce as well. So like, yeah, like you could just get a whole book full of like all of these kinds of things. Like this would, a good artist could crank that out, fairly quickly, which is not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. If I'm understanding it correctly, there's a roll to see what you attack. Then there's a bunch of rolls. There's a bunch of dice to see if you hit. And then you add those up. You add up all the 6s. So if you're rolling 12, maybe 2 or 3 of those will be d6s. So 2, 4, 6. So it's not, the math isn't bad. And then they're knocked prone. So it's cool. Like if I could definitely dig that. I could definitely dig that. I think it's too many steps and it's too wordy for what I'm going for with Nimble. I want it to be. I want the name. I want the name to be evocative enough to where I don't need the description, right? And like maybe we can stick flavor text in there if we have space, but I want the name and the mechanics of it alone to be to do what like the flavor text, the description, and all this sort of stuff is like. So instead of int hug, it would be rip apart or devour, and like so we don't need this whole sentence, right? And then I would just do like 8d6, 1 damage. And I don't really care what kind of damage type it is. That I don't know if that matters. On hit, trapped. Like so, like I would cut all of this text down to be maybe half or a quarter of the length, so that as I'm running this, I don't need to read it ahead of time, and a lot of people prefer this rather than the economy of words. So I prefer this, honestly, if I'm judging it, if we're going to be judges here, I prefer this over the super economy of words of Shadow Dark. So like I don't I've said it before. Maybe someone will explain it to me sometime. I don't understand what this means. Like this is too much of a code for me to crack. Um, but I prefer Shadow Dark over say like a 5e stat block where like this is like a pretty simple challenge rating 3. Um, basically just like he's so basically all that matters in this stat block is like this thing right here, 1d8 plus 4 twice. Like yeah, that's it. Or honestly, he's using it with 2 ends, so it's gonna be 1d10 plus 4 twice. He does that twice. So like all of this stuff isn't needed, and this is actually not even like the worst example of it. Like whatever this is, like a Gauth. I feel like these like the art is like just like out of fantastic. Like this guy, look at that guy. His eyeballs have eyes. So the art is fantastic, obviously, in 5e. They have infinite money. But those stat blocks they're just way too much. So like on the extreme end, so like the 5e stat blocks are like way too much for me personally, and this is just opinion. The Shadow Darks I think are definitely better, but like too little. And this is pretty close to just right. So this is pretty close to just right. Like look at that. Like that's the stats, and like you just roll like it's cool to get a variety of attacks. I will give it that. This is sweet. This is sweet. I like it. But it's more wordy, which is a little bit of drawback. So out of all of those, I like this the most. So if I were doing something like that, I would just shrink it down. And rather than roll, I would just say like choose one, which is what we actually ended up doing. So that is cool. That is really sweet. I like Forbidden Lands. It was recommended to me by Dave Thalmavor. Let's go and turn this back off. So yeah, that was recommended to me by Dave Thalmavor. I think that's his like his favorite system out of everything. Cool. That's some pretty good inspiration. So rather than rolling, it is cool to have different attacks that really matter. So can we have the same kind of thing? Can we have the best of all worlds? Like the cool art of 5e and the simplicity of Shadow Dark and the coolness and like variety that we have in Forbidden Lands. Can we have the best of all worlds? That's my question. That's my goal. And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. 4 damage is a lot. Your health pool is your attribute, basically. Okay. Ideally, the evocative text should convey the flavor alone. Yep. Exactly. And someone who's really good at that is Terran Pounds in Destructible Way. So he's quite good at that. He can have like 5 words and like have a spicy thing. And I've actually got him. He's helping me do some cool writing polish on Nimble because I like his style. Okay, too wordy, too many steps. Those are good reasons. Yeah. Maybe you can add a B for blunt damage. DM Lu. So something that I've described, something I've talked about every once in a while is it's like some things you don't need to describe how it works. Like a sword, you don't need to describe that as stabs you. Like yeah, that's how, or it slashes you. Like if it's a hammer, it deals bludgeoning damage, right? If it's an ice spell, it deals cold damage. Or bludgeoning or whatever, like whatever makes sense. So just like when you have like movement here, like when you have movement, he can move up to 50 feet. In general, Flameheart moves by tensing the muscles in his legs in various in various orders, and he pushes off the ground against the force of gravity. Blah blah blah. Like you don't need to describe how moving works because everybody knows how moving works. You don't need to describe the damage a hammer does because everybody knows like it's going to smush you, right? So whenever possible. It's like whenever it's unintuitive, yeah, you go ahead and describe what kind of damage it is because sometimes it matters. But like nobody's under any illusions that a rapier will deal like thunder damage or necrotic damage, unless it does. That's when you would describe it. So when it's not needed, we just leave it out. If the DM can figure that out, with a couple of brain cells, then yeah, let's leave that alone. Forbidden Lands has the most fun hex crawl rules I've ever played. Oh man, that's so cool. I'd love to get more deep into hex crawls and that kind of thing. Um, Evan Nimble Hearth General Flame Hearth. I don't know what that's about, Bruno. Ideally, the evocative text should convey the flavor alone. So you don't even need flavor text. Yeah. Oh, I already read that. I've got the memory of a goldfish, apparently. I feel that Dungeons & Dragons tries to fill the books with more content than necessary. That's why I love Nimble. I love Nimble. It feels compact, but with content. Yeah, yeah. Compact, but not sparse. Compact, but not sparse. Like, I don't want to waste your time. That's the goal. So I don't want to waste your time. I agree with the way you're looking at the types of damage. Cool, yeah. All right, so let's do a little bit of cooking. All right, so let's start with General Flameheart, and I think we're gonna move the other dragon off just a little bit higher, maybe. So the mid levels where it's like really the best kind of like the best play. I think I'm gonna have like I'll have two legendary monsters for each. So we have like level 2, level 3, level 4, and then like level 5 we'll have 2, level 6 we'll have 2, level 7 we'll have 2, level 8 we'll have 2, and then level 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, and I got this new art, and actually that's the standard art. Okay, so let's focus for just a second. So General Flameheart. So the first thing we're gonna do, let's pull up the the PDF with the spreadsheet so that we can make sure everything's balanced first, and then we can start tweaking some things. I'll pull it up over here. It is in the GM guide. Then I think I can share this also, can't I? I can share I think I can share this as well. Can I? Properties, InDesign, cancel. Properties. Preview, GM guide. There we go. We can do it. We can do it, everybody. All right, so let's zoom in. There we go. And then I'm gonna just do a little bit of surgery here. And we don't care about all of this. There we go. There we go. All right. So can we get everything on the screen? I think we can get close enough. Okay, so this is going to be a level 8 solo duder. So let's move this down here. So level 8 has, let me just go and highlight it. Oh, I hate how tables don't work. I'll just highlight this. So he's got heavy armor. He definitely has heavy armor. So he's going to have 55 hit points. Ooh, that doesn't sound right. Are we on? Oh, this is the regular monster builder. Let's go down to let's go down to the legendary monster builder. So level 8. Now we're talking 175. Okay, so 270, way too much. 175. So the initial numbers were sort of by by the heart. You know, we're sort of just guessing, educated guess. Maleficist. The thing I love about Nimble is that counterspell isn't a thing yet. No counterspell. Counterspell has been the bane of my existence as a DM because it is unfun as someone stopping you from drinking water. Oh, you thought you were gonna drink that water? Nah, I don't think so. Or they stick their finger in your ear and you're trying to drink your water. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to drink. Bruno says, will shipments be charged after surveys are complete or later? As late as possible. Because shipment prices go up, they go down. I don't want to overcharge you. I don't want to undercharge you. I want it to be just accurate. And like some people are going to be moving and stuff. So I'm going to push that. So like right before like things are, I think like right before I get the shipment back from the printer is when I'm going to lock everything down. So probably like a week or two to give people a chance to fix things. So shipments are going to be coming in then. Okay, so heavy armor. Cinder Armor. When dealt damage, deal 5 damage to all adjacent creatures. Ooh, that's nasty. That is nasty. Okay, so we need to make sure we take this into account for his attacks. So if his attack is, say, for instance, 30, we'd probably make his attack like 25 instead, because he's dealing additional damage whenever he's adjacent to a creature. So we'll need to make sure we keep that in mind. We probably don't need to affect the small attack. Maybe we'll take that down by like 2. So this will be like 13, and this will be 25. I think that would probably be fine. And then so that'll get us in the ballpark. It'll be fun enough. But we'll do playtesting and to make sure that it is actually perfect. Will there be encounter building guidelines? Yep, absolutely. Okay, so legendary resistance. So we're not going to have this. So something happens. All areas ignited by molten fury are extinguished. So maybe it's like the first time he takes cold damage. So one thing that I really like about, or one thing that I really want to have happen is to have everybody has some ability, and then everybody has some weakness. So for instance, like this guy who's like just a bunch of eyeballs, right? He is weak. So on taking more than 12 piercing, and it's not piercing and slashing damage, it's piercing or slashing damage. So the damage type does matter. So whenever he takes 12 or more piercing or slashing damage, his plans are flawed. His special ability is suppressed for 1 turn. So that thematically makes sense, because like you lop off one of these noodles, right? You lop off one of these noodles. Let me scooch this over or make it smaller. I think it's maybe taking up just a little bit too much space. So whenever he takes a piercing or slashing damage, like you can lop off one of his little appendages there, or you can like stab him in the eye, and that super duper hurts. So like bludgeoning damage is not going to do that much, but if he takes a certain amount of piercing or slashing damage, it turns off his cool ability for 1 round, which is super cool, super duper cool, and I love that. And that this is a thing that the party can like research beforehand. Like they've heard of Dravok, the all-seeing tyrant. They've heard of him. His reputation precedes him. If they can do some cool role playing or exploration, they can ask NPCs, go to the library, like whatever they want to do. They can figure out like what is this guy's weakness, or like during combat they can assess, and if they roll high enough, maybe the DM will tell them like this: hey, if he takes a certain amount of piercing or slashing damage, his special abilities, you're gonna make him flinch. He's gonna blink, and his plans will not be flawless any longer. So I like that kind of mechanic. So the thing that comes to my mind right away is he's a huge flame titan. Okay. So what if it's when he takes cold damage? What if it's when he takes like cold or radiant damage? Something like that. Or instead of the first time, what if it's like whenever he takes a cold or radiant crit? That feels pretty cool. Cool off. It's a dumb name, so like it's just a name. It's just a temporary name. Whenever he takes a cold or radiant critical hit, all areas ignited by molten fury are extinguished. That feels pretty cool. That feels cool. I didn't mean that pun. That feels like a neat mechanic. I think we can reduce some words. Cold or radiant crits. EXTING, extinguish all areas ignited by molten fury. There you go. Nice. Something like that. I'll tweak the words in a bit. But something like that I think would be super duper cool. Bruno says, I'm thinking on maintaining an optional homebrew to keep legendary resistance, but instead of auto success, it gives the monster advantage X times, but the monster has to use it whenever it's available. That's cool. That's cool. So the GM doesn't save it for the spell they know is coming. Yeah. Like something like that where the players can figure it out and can game it. I definitely don't hate that. But whenever you can eliminate a system or use a system that's already there, is much better. It's much preferred to use a system that exists rather than adding a new system just for this weird little edge case. So like turns already exist, hit points already exist, crits already exist, damage types already exist. We can use those, right? Okay, so let's keep going. I like the legendary resistance. Yeah, so it is cool when the legendary resistances cost them something. So like that part of like you do a thing and it harms them in a different way. You can like you figure this cool thing out. It harms them in a cool way, and it gives you a cool edge. Can we keep that and just remove it from the unfun legendary resistance? I think that's what we're doing here. That's what we're trying to do. There's this cool thing you can figure out and then it harms them in some cool tactical way, right? So maybe a level 5 or level 6 party who's figured out, like quote unquote, figured out General Flame's Heart thing, then they can do it. But if you haven't figured out, like maybe a level 8 or level 9 party couldn't, they couldn't take him on because he's too strong. Or like maybe there's like a party of NPCs who like come back and there's like 5 of them died and only 1 survived and they come back sort of like Rogue One, like everybody dies but they got this information. There's this one weakness, you know, in the Death Star. There's this one weakness in General Flameheart. It's radiant damage or cold damage or something. Right? I think that kind of thing is super duper cool. And if we can eliminate the need for legendary resistance and keep the cool part that we had, then I think that is definitely a win. That's a big win, as the Incredible Hulk would say. I see this as a complete win. Okay, so let's look at his attacks. So after each hero's turn, Flameheart can move up to 50 feet. So this is an old version of it. So it's going to be move and attack. So this is like a Titan. I don't think it's appropriate for him to be hunting people down. This is the guy who wants people to like come in close to him. So let's come back to that in a second. Flameheart can use both of his attacks. Inferno Cleave, strike a 10-foot by 10-foot area. And I think we need to grab the little multiplication sign from here instead of the X, because someone did teach me that is not the multiplication sign. And there's apparently no way to type it. You just have to copy it from just like the cell wall. You can't. There's anyway. Let's not get too sciencey. Okay, strike a 10-foot by 10-foot adjacent area for 2d12 plus 10 fire damage. Okay, so that so let's call this his. So I like both these abilities. All right, so you AoE strike some areas. So the position, the placement of these different guys matter. And then Molten Fury, a lava molten ball of fire, igniting 10-foot by 10-foot area in flames. Creatures there take that amount of damage also. And vulnerable to fire as long as they are in the flames. Ooh. Target the hero furthest away, not already in the flames. Ooh, I like that. So this is something. This is something I forgot. I forgot that I wrote actually. All right, so let's check. So we're here at level 8. He has heavy armor, so his last stand should be 80 hit points. And let's go ahead and copy. Let's copy the text from here. Just so we are consistent. Flameheart is dying. His last stand is what? 80 hit points. We already said that. 80 more damage, and he dies. Until then, something happens. Until then, the area of Molten Fury and Inferno Cleave increases to 15 feet by 15 feet. I kind of like that. That's pretty solid. It's a good place to start. Just for instance, like some of these abilities like sound super cool, but once you play it at the table, like it sounds off. It actually plays awful. So the first version of Florindris was garbage. It was garbage. Like the mechanics sounded so cool, but once we play tested it, It was terrible. It was unfun, and it had the opposite effect of what I intended. Like the challenge level was about right, but like it was terrible. So playtesting really does matter. You can get the numbers right. DM Todd Bloom, try Alt 10215. I'm on a Mac. I don't know if that matters, but let's see. We'll do option 0125. That did not work. But I did type some cool things. 0125. Okay, so if I want to type the TM signal symbol, I can type Alt 2. Cool. I learned that. Cool. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know if there's any particular way to type it on a Mac. I got the reference Hulk saying, yeah. I see this as a complete win. Okay. So he should not be able to use both of his attacks. That is not a thing. So move and cleave is cool because he moves somewhere. He moves somewhere and then he cleaves them. And then Molten Fury. So I like how this guy is sort of a flowchart. If no creatures are dominated, dominate. If a dominant creature is adjacent, do this. Otherwise, this. I like that. I like that a lot. So do we need to be that prescriptive? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I realize that I am like scrolling around like a madman. So do we need every creature to be like that? I don't know. I don't know that we need every creature. Whoop. I don't know that we need every creature to be like that, but I think if we had a little bit of guidance on like when to move and strike versus when to Molten Fury, I think that's cool. I don't know how I feel about stuff triggering depending on how much hit points a monster has. In 5e, I could do that because usually add mid-combat HP to monsters because balance issues. Yeah, totally get it. So those balance issues should not exist in Nimble. So the math has been mathed out. The balance is much tighter. It's much not just tighter, but much more forgiving. So a level 8 party that is a party of 2 or 3 could fight this guy, and a party of 8 could fight this guy as well. And the numbers are still going to work because he acts after each player's turns. So the party of 3 people, they will each probably get like 5 turns. The party of 8 people, they would probably each get like 2 or 3 turns. But he's going to deal the same percentage of damage across the party as he would against 3 or 8 people or 10 people or 15 people. It breaks down a little bit at the extremes, like it's like 1 or 2 people or versus like 20 people. So it breaks down a little bit. But we don't need the band-aid if we don't have the problem, right? So the thing where you have to like fudge dice and fudge hit points and do all this sort of stuff, it feels bad to do that. Like it's a fine tool to have if you need it, but if you don't need it, like let's leave that tool at home, right? We don't need to cheat. And if the players knew you were doing that, they would not like that. So the band-aid is not needed if we don't have the problem, right? So the whole point of this is to fix the problem, and indeed it does. So all of the encounters, for instance, in the adventure, is based off of how many heroes there are. So, for instance, like in this ceremony room, there's a root breakers, a 1 for every 2 heroes. So there's 4 heroes, there's 2 root breakers, and this little goblin. So the encounters are party size independent, so that you don't have to worry about rebalancing and tweaking things and fiddling with all this sort of stuff. I want it to be as easy as possible to run. Refreshing, yeah, refreshing. So all the stuff that you would need to do to like quote unquote prep this adventure to fix the monsters like in 5e, you just don't have to do that anymore. Like it's done for you already. Yep. So that is absolutely the design philosophy. So I think move after each hero's turn, choose one. So if someone doesn't like, if someone's a new GM, they can just read this. Okay, whenever this happens, that happens. Whenever this happens, that happens. Okay, cool. And then this after each hero's turn, choose one. Okay, so still the heroes go first. Whoever goes first, and then after each hero, this guy does his thing. So very easy to run even for new GMs. Okay, so let's see if our damage is appropriate. So let's bring this back over. I can never click on the right thing in OBS. There we go. All right, so let's bring this back over. Yeah, up here. Perfect. So for level 8, we want his small attack to deal 15. And again, remember we said that he's already dealing 5 fire damage. So we need to have it deal just a little bit less. So 15 for his small attack. And I'm going to say his Molten Fury is... You know what? Since he's sort of dealing AoE stuff, let's don't do a small attack or a big attack. Let's just sort of combine them into one. And they're both going to deal the same amount of damage. So what's the average of 15 and 30? 22? Something like that? 45 divided by 2. 22. Hey, 22.5. Cool. So we'll set it to 20. So we'll take it down just a notch, and we'll set the goal as 20. So 2d12 plus 10 on average is going to do 12 plus 22. So we need to do like 2d12 plus, so let's do 2d10. 2d10 plus 10. There we go. That feels better. 2d10 plus 10, 2d10 plus 10. So the hit points was way too high, but the attack damage was pretty close to where we wanted it to be. Although the approach you've taken should really work well. So far in the testing, it feels a lot of fun. And like legendary monsters feel so different than regular encounters. Like they just the tactics wise, like you have to really think differently. Okay, so he can either move in Smash or he can Molten Fury. I think that's probably all that we need. That's all that we need. We probably can use a range on this. Range 20 to... range minimum 20 feet. All right, so he's not going to like lob a thing right next to him. Like he's not just like plunking down things. There has to be like an area of safety around him, probably. So he's going to be lobbing these things at the furthest away hero, and probably like take place in like a room of a certain size or something like that. And he's going to target the hero furthest away, not already in the flame. So range minimum. Let's do this. Minimum range 20 feet. Let me ask you guys if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Minimum range 20 feet. You could probably cut down on the words here as well, but you tell me if that makes sense. Molten Fury makes you think that players in Cinder Armor effect... Molten Fury makes you think that players in Cinder Armor effect are vulnerable to fire, are they? Let's read it. I don't know. Level to ball of fire, minimum range 20 feet, igniting a 10 by 10 area in flames. Creatures there take 2d10 plus 10 fire damage and are vulnerable to fire damage as long as they are in the flames. And then gain vulnerability. Fire vulnerability. Because I can see people asking, like, well, is the first attack damage? Is that first thing doubled? Creatures there take 2d10 plus 10 fire damage. Like when? When would they take fire damage? Like instantly, so right away, just so you don't have to remember anything. And they gain fire vulnerability for as long as they remain in the flames. Farthest. Target the furthest hero, not already in the flames. When dealt damage, deal 5 fire damage to all adjacent creatures. I think... Chud. Hey, good to see you, Chud. Nimble peeps, hey. Please hit that like button. Thank you, Chud. You great hype man. I think I see what you're saying now. So lava molten bowl of fire. And I don't think I need this because we're already targeting the furthest hero, not already in the flames. So I don't think we need that. Igniting a 10 by 10 area in flames. I don't think we need to say in flames. Igniting is flames. It's ignited. Lava molten ball of fire igniting a 10 by 10 area. And we can reduce this. And where's that multiplication? There it is. Copy that. Paste that. Igniting a 10 by 10 10 foot by 10 foot area. Creatures there take 2d10 bludgeoning damage, 2d10 bludgeoning plus 10 fire damage. Okay. I don't know that we need vulnerability of fire damage. I don't think we need that. I think that's a cool flavor thing, but like they're already taking damage. Creatures remaining there. This damage. Creatures in this area suffer 10 fire damage at the end of their turns. There you go. I think that's that's good. And yes, I see the typo. Creatures. I think this should probably stay at the end. Okay. Or here, there we go. I think that's probably the best place to put it. And we'll make this lowercase. You guys can see what I'm doing, right? You can see what I'm doing. Okay. Lava molten ball of fire, igniting a 10 by 10 area. Creatures there take 2d10 bludgeoning plus 10 fire damage. Target the furthest hero not already in the flames. Creatures in this area suffer 10 fire damage at the end of their turn. At the end of each of their turns. At the end of each of their turns. I think that makes sense. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Already done, Chud. Hey, Edward, thank you. Appreciate it. Critical Pixel. Got to catch the recording of this one later. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. DM Todd Burton. Target the furthest hero not already in the flames. Is that what I have? Target the furthest hero not already in the flames. Yep. Is this supposed to be direction or a requirement? I mean, like the GM could always just do whatever they want. They can give this guy 1,000 points. So this is so yes, it's direction, but also like it's like I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm not the cops. Maybe Molten Fury fire area makes players vulnerable to cinder armor, so they have to cool off before hitting in melee. Prioritize the furthest. Yeah. It's unclear how long does the area stay lit. Yeah. Oh, hero. Yeah. Some good feedback, you guys. So the point of this is just to prevent the guy from like, all right, so the big scary dude is here. I'm going to run as far away as I can. So if you're always the furthest one away, you will always be attacked, and you'll always, every turn, you're going to have to spend one of your actions moving. So that's really it. So, and if it's taking place in a small arena, like the areas where, so he can do this every turn. So like there's 5 players, he can do this 5 times in the round if he wants to. So if nobody's attacking him melee, hey, that's fine. I'm gonna start blasting you guys. I'm gonna just start like igniting areas. I'm gonna start igniting areas on fire, and you guys can come face me if you want to. If not, I'm gonna make you move. So he's perfectly happy just standing still. Is fire damage needed? I think so. I think so. Maybe not. So I think however you want to run this guy is fine, but so like different area that you can stand in gets smaller and smaller, and he should probably be immune to fire. Let's just say that. Can we say that? Let's say that. Where would we put that? Right here, Cinder Armor. Immune to fire damage. When damaged, so we don't need to say dealt damage. When damaged, deal 5 fire damage to all adjacent creatures. Cool. Let me ask you guys this. Should I mean, we can increase the size of this little thing. So it takes up less space vertically and takes up more space this way. And if we do that, we can probably save ourselves a line or two. Yeah, that does feel a little bit better. And possibly, maybe likely that this is going to have some icons as well, like the regular monsters. So I think I'm going to make these similar. Okay, so let's come up with a better name than Cool Off. Extinguish. Flame? Extinguish flame? When dealt damage looks wrong? Paul Branson, hey, good to see you, man. What do you mean? Did I fix it already, or is it still is whatever you're saying? It's still wonky. Widening it. Double King's back. Hey, welcome back, man. Glad Alaska didn't kill you yet. Does all damage trigger Cinder Army? Yep. That's how it's worded currently. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. So, like people, like like they'll figure out use half your movement to move up melee attack, use the rest of your movement to move away. Like that, that's pretty cool. And then like he will move up next to the guy, so like the rest of the round, whoever hits them, like they know that they're gonna harm their other guys. And the commander can do cool things out of turn, tell them to reposition, like back away, get away from these guys. So yeah, that's pretty spicy. And suppress. I always forget how to spell suppress. It's one of those words that I spelled it right. It's one of those words that is just hard to spell. Suppress. Cinder for round. Should it suppress Cinder Armor for a round? Nah. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so I like where we are here. Flameheart is dying, so 110 hit points. On his next turn, use Molten Fury a number of times. Ooh, that's nasty. I like that. So we don't need to say add. So yeah, when bloodied. So what is half of 175? 4 divided by 2, 87 at 87 hit points. And I like this here. So we don't just say when bloodied, because like then someone like the GM will have to do the math in their head. We say at 87 hit points. So that's when so whether you like write 175 and you start subtracting, you get to 87. It happens. Or when you start at 0 and you add the damage, you get to 87. So it's the same. It's the same. So I love that. I love it. Cool. So I really like that that mechanic is super friendly to GMs. So let's turn off. I think we can turn off this. That we can turn off. Yeah, we can turn that off. So yeah, that feels pretty good. Cold or radiant crits extinguish all areas ignited by Molten Fury and suppress Cinder Armor for 1 round. For 1 turn. For 1 turn. How about suppressing just until the end of its next turn, so it suppresses just for 1 player's damage? If it's done next round, every round will be surprised. Yeah, every round. The ability will be off the remainder of. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yes. Rounds and turns are described in the core rules. So if it was that, if like the wizard did this or the mage did this, then everybody else goes until like the wizard's next turn. That is a round for the wizard. So it's that long. So like if the wizard was the last in the initiative order, like so to speak, it wouldn't be like, okay, well now it's back on. It's like you go all the way around once for that kind of effect. And yes, that is definitely described. For one turn, suppress cinder armor for one turn. So it would be like just for this guy's turn then, just for that turn, which I guess is okay. Deal 5 fire damage. Is 5 fire damage too much? That's a lot of chip damage for the melee boys. I think that's okay. It's level 8. Come on, it's level 8. All right, so let's do something real quick. Let's duplicate this spread. Do you want to duplicate this spread? So we've got general flame art, general flame art. Let's see what it looks like if we make it a little bit narrower, so we can like see a little bit more of the art. Can we make it like a little bit narrower? And make it feel cooler, or does this take up too much of the art? I don't know. Let's see. It's like his feet aren't like super like cool to look at. We'll just move that. Just delete that. Excuse me, everybody. Okay, so what if we did something like this? Like it doesn't have to be right in the middle. Like if there's a cool part of the art, maybe maybe we can like do a little bit of scooching, you know? Oh, like did you know his knee pads have skulls on them? Like how cool. You didn't know that. I want this to be tight. I want us to see the art. Ooh, look at his feet. His feet are actually kind of cool. They're like bones. I mean, I guess it's fine here. So we are gonna have the monster cards. Yeah, we are gonna have the monster cards. So I think it's maybe fine. But look how tight this little stat block is. It feels like it's less information like this, which I do like. It feels less intimidating, and we could probably tighten it up even a little bit more. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, we're tightening it up some. Okay, this is already tight. Flameheart is dying. 80 more damage and he dies. Until then, the area of his attacks increase to, look at that. We're saving lines, guys. The area of his attacks increase. So what if we, basic paragraph. So what if we took down the line height a little bit just to, I don't want it to feel crowded, but at the same time, I want it to like not feel intimidating, you know? So tough is a great piece of art. Man, layout is tough. Top of the round. I think we answered that. And hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. By the way, it's cool designing, hanging out. So let's see. Let's do a little bit of finagling here. Just the littlest bit of finagling. Let's reduce this to 10. Maybe it's gonna be too tight. Maybe it won't be. We do this. Reduce that to 10. Oh, look all this space we're saving, you guys. Is it feeling too crowded? Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I mean, I do want to know. Okay, that's already 10 points. Okay. So what if we just added like the littlest bit of space here, just so. Not there. Here. Why is it doing it there? Oh, okay. I don't need that much space. Let's back that up a little bit. Ooh, look at all that space we saved. Look at all that space, guys. Look how tight this stat block is. Oh, I love that. That is way better than this. All right, so same stat block, you guys. You guys can't see it. So same stat block. This is like half, almost half as, like 2/3 as big. Oh, let's just drag it up here. Yeah, I think we have to do it this way. Is this the way? What do you guys think? Life of graphic designer. Just missing the icons. Yeah. I think we'll get some icons up in here. I think if we can put it like in the least interesting corner, and like so a lot of the art, what I've been doing is like I've been extending the canvas. Ooh, we have extra canvas. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, so something that I have been doing is, so the artist will send me art. So I think this art was originally like this. So I think this is the original art, like this. And then I will paint it and extend the canvas so I have a little bit more wiggle room, some space to work with. So if we shrink him down, a little bit, like this. And I think we have to have his big giant like stupid sword in there, like not stupid, like stupid big, like big old honking sword. Ooh, yeah, we do have extra canvas. Now we're cooking. All right. Yeah, we got a lot of extra space. Look how cool that is. I'm whispering. Shh, 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 shh. Okay. There we go. Is that cool? Let's scooch him over a little bit. That's cooler. And so let's do this. Yeah, so he's sort of like looking at his stat block, yeah? I feel like that's an improvement. I feel like that's a big improvement. And we could even scooch, we could cheat this just a little bit further down. Yep. Look at our scooching skills. Awesome. I feel like that shows it off way better. What, you paint them yourself to several different art styles you get? Yeah, just like extending the canvas and that kind of stuff is fairly easy. I'm an artist, so I can't, I'm not good enough to like make this cool thing by myself. This is by I forgot the guy's name, something Chin. I think you can see his signature like right back here. And that's something I have to remember to do also, to put the artist names on here. And so it would take me too long probably to like do the art from scratch. So yes, I go ahead and hire people for it. But if it's like this size instead of that size, like yeah, I can I can do that kind of stuff. Let me show you guys like the original mage art. Actually, you can sort of see what. Let's look at the mage. So we're talking about art. You can see some of the things that I've done. So here's the mage. You know him, you love him. He's the mage. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so this is the OG mage art. And this is a cool piece by Earl Ann. I think that's not even the OG one. I think this is one that I already started working on. I don't remember. So it was just a little bit cool, but it was a 9. We need to crank it up to 11. So like that kind of stuff, like I can do that sort of thing. So extending the canvas so we can fit it, adding some cool effects, making his eyes glow, and like this being pink, didn't strike me as as cool. We changed to blue, to lightning mage, so that kind of stuff. In his head, like I don't know if you can tell, but his head was like just felt a little bit small. So I made his head much larger, pretty substantially larger. So it was sort of like a cool perspective shot, but it was a little, the perspective was a little bit too strong. So I made his head a bit bigger, gave him a big head. Let's go back to GMCAG. General Flame Art. What if we did that? Okay, so I like how that feels a little bit more. So like here, like I would have to fix this so you can clearly see like this is where the canvas was duplicated and like mirrored right there. So that's my fault. That's not the artist's fault. So like if there's any bad parts of the art, it's my fault. But generally, I try to leave the art as it is. HP/armor/saves missing. Yes, I'll have it. So you're a tracer. I don't know what chasing Amy is, but hey, yeah, tracing is fun as a kid, but I would not recommend it if you're like trying to develop skills or anything, because it teaches you to not see. And as art is all about seeing. It's all about seeing things. That's why most people can't like draw an eyeball, because like they've never really looked at an eyeball and like try to understand how it looks. Ooh, yeah, this will fit in there real nicely. Okay, so we need an icon for saves. What's a good icon for saves? Got a heart and a shield. Maybe just a star? Maybe a star? Yeah, it's a triangle for the heroes, for like the character sheet. The saves sort of has like a triangle type of motif. Let's go to the character sheet real quick. So it's just like a pretty simple triangle. Dice. You'll see it any second now. What am I seeing? Don't forget the HP stuff. Oh yeah. No, I'm not forgetting that. So I'm thinking like a star or something else. Let's bring up. Where is it? Let's bring up this page. I'll show you guys how I make some of the icons. This is in Figma. Oh, let me pull it up. Turn this back on, and we'll change it to properties, window, Brave, Spellcards Figma. There we go. Let's zoom in here. So this is Figma. You guys can see this, right? Probably zoomed in too far. Can I undo that? Ooh, I can. So zoom in. There we go. That's probably fine. Okay, so let's go down here. So this is where I do a lot of my layout stuff. So these are just like drawn vector things, and I can export them from Figma as PNGs and like various sizes. What if we made a star? Let's see what that looks like. I think a star might work. And then we can even like tweak. Ooh, I like a bit of a chunky star. And then I think I can change the radius. No, let's leave the radius. What is this? Corners. Ooh. We can change the corners. Let's go for good old American star, 5-point star. Grab this. Now we can export this at 4x, and there we go. Now we've got a star. Let's go ahead and drop that in there. Grab that, drop it into the correct folder. Change it so it doesn't have a space in the file name, because whenever there's a space in the file name, some programs hate that and it will break. So let's take this and make it the same size as these boys. InDesign is super sensitive with when you're zoomed in real tight. There we go. Let's see what this looks like. and the opacity is 40%. Change the opacity to 40%. We'll copy this. And now we can left align that. So what was it? What were the saves? Let's look up here. Strength and will are advantaged. Well, obviously. STR. Plus will plus. Okay. Give ourselves just a little bit more space. There we go. So we might need to rethink how saves work. Maybe the saves need to be like smaller or like in a like sort of like this. And we can take the line height down. Probably take the font size down as well, because this is the big fat font. All right, let's see how that looks. Let's back up a little bit, and we'll take a look. I think the start needs to be just ever so slightly larger. There we go. Let's see. Can you guys see what I'm seeing? Yeah, you can see what I'm saying. A lot of times I will forget to change a thing. I like how that feels. That feels much better than like all the text in the corner. Like that feels better than this. Like this is like information overload, almost like miniature information overload. And this is just like, oh, 3 cute little things. Diamond. How about a cross? Diamond. Chunky stars. The best stars. 7-sided. Cool. Hexagon. Starts too much empty space. S, D, and W with up down arrows. That might be too obscure. So like the motif that we already have for the heroes, we're using will plus strength minus. So that's already like a motif that we're using, and I'd like to repeat it if possible. It's always good to repeat things, so that like if someone's played Nimble and then they GM for a round, like, oh, like it's just like my character. So that might be just a bit too small. I don't know. That might be okay. That might be okay. And I think we need to grab these little dividers just so we can chunk it out just a little bit. So it feels a little bit more, sensical, as opposed to nonsensical, or a little bit too crowded. There we go. I don't know if we need those, but I don't think they hurt anything. So I think we could maybe even take this line height down to be equal to the font size. So the font size is 9.5. So what if we did 9.5 for the line height? Maybe even do like 9. 9 for the line height, and then we can increase the distance between the different paragraphs, so that like these two lines go together, these two lines together, these two paragraphs are separate. I think that might be what we do. I like the dividers. Hey, cool. Icons look really good. Nice. Painting's getting better. Sorry, man. Hope you feel better. I don't know what's going on. I'll say a prayer for you tonight. I hope it gets better. Whatever's going on. Thanks for hanging out. My players are asking to leave them at 34 hit points. But then like he'll just be in his last stand, and he'll just start creaming them. Kidney sand. Oh, kidney stone. Oh, brutal. I hope it passes in peace. All right, so yeah, let's do that. Let's reduce the line height to, what was it? I already forgot what it was. Reducing the line height down to 9. And then I can save all of this as a new style, so that I don't have to like fiddle with everything. 2 cores, one in each kidney. They never got stuck though. Oh man, Bruno, that's rough. Do you think the save icon would look strange if there were modifiers at all 3 saves? So with all 3 saves, let me just show you what that looks like. So it's just all. It's all plus. So the most you would have is this. But when they're going out as a date, remember? Things like your diet can definitely impact it. Not a doctor. Hashtag not a doctor. My wife, she used to drink black tea like every day. That'll do it. And like certain other things can really do it. And certain people are just like really more susceptible, I think, biologically to it. So I've never had one. Hope I never get one. But is there ever 2 saves plus, 1 save minus? There could be, but like probably not. Like at that point, like you're getting a little bit too fiddly. So like the closest thing is like a Pudge of Blunderer. Like he's super strong but dumb. Like only because that makes sense thematically. Should his dex be slow because he's a blunderer? Like maybe, but like we don't need to get too fiddly. Like honestly, like even if they fail a save, like it's not the end of the world. Like the hero gets to do the cool thing. It feels fine. Um, 18 kilograms. What's that like? That's like 200 pounds, isn't it? That's like a lot of kilograms. A lot of weight. What is that, like 50, 60 pounds? That's wow, Bruno. Way to go, man. Make sure you eat every once in a while. Probably staying off sugar and working out. I don't know if that's what I have. It's the last diagnosis. Yeah, peace, man. Um, where were we? Oh yeah, so we were relaying out some of these things just to like make it feel more cohesive. So the line height is down to 10 now. Oh, that saves so much space. And then we're increasing the paragraph spacing by 1. So there we go. And then now we can increase the paragraph spacing after. So we got to do this. So we're going to increase that or decrease that from 12 to 3. Did I do it? Did I do it in the wrong spot? So 12 to 3. There we go. This is 3, this is 3, and then what is the spacing here? 2, increase that to 3. There we go. All right, yeah, so we added a little bit of space where we need it, and we took away a little bit of space where we don't. That might be a little bit too tight. That might be a little bit too tight. Let's see how much, let's see what it looks like. I mean, we save a good bit of space. So this is how I spend my days. This is how I spend many of my days. Tweaking things, getting the pixels right. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. Yeah, that is pretty tight. Text looks a little bit too crammed together. I think you guys are right. All right, you guys. Good news is we can just undo it. Hopefully I have enough undo history state left. We do. Right, yeah, so we just undo it. Perfect. So back to where we were. I think that's okay. Man, everybody's had kidney stones but me. I'm missing the party. Okay, so I think General Flameheart is looking good. Let's go and delete this spread because I don't think I'm gonna use it. Let's save his stats. HP 175. 175. I love it when this thing disappears on me. Squirrely little thing. 175. Okay. Cool. So now I can save, I can duplicate this. And I'm going to edit this. This is going to be legendary stat block. There we go. So we've added that, and we can, let's see if this changes anything. Bam. Ooh. We don't want everything to be bold. Edit, basic character, bold, regular. There we go. And then now we can do this, and this, and this. So we fix something, we break one other thing, and then that's just how life is. He's looking good. He's looking good. All right, so now let's keep going. Let's look at Nalzar, Apex Predator. Okay, so she has legendary resistance. So what can we change about her? I hope to never have a kidney stone. Yeah. I've had 4 stones in the past, 6+ years without. Oh. Yep. That sucks, you guys. That really, really sucks. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, let's turn back on this and let's change it to properties. This preview GM guide. There we go. So change it back to this. Why is it all wobbly? I don't what's going on? Do I have to like reset? All right, so let's do this so you guys can see. And she is a level 7. So let's just show. Oh, we have to show like what the column actually is. All right. There we go. Cool. So you guys can see the stats with me. So at level 7 feels pretty cool for a solo Drake. Maybe she could be like level 6 because it's not like a Drake is less than a dragon. And dragons have arms and wings. Drakes only have wings. See, no arms, no arms. So maybe this could be the level. And let's go and delete this spread here. Delete spread. Oh, let me show you something cool about the core rules. I was able to eliminate the that one like hanging conditions page. So I was able to move everything up, and I got some cool new art from some cool artists. We have like, I don't know, maybe this is like a celestial guy here. I think I'll stick another guy here. I've got another like a cool dual wielding rogue here next to dual wielding, sort of like fitting all the cool stuff there. And I've got, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. I might have something else here. But I got this cool dude with a like sick mustache, wearing armor and stuff in the armor page. So I kind of like those new tweaks. I don't know if you guys saw the new wand of Ride the Lightning. So we got a new wand there. Is there anything else? I don't know if there's anything else. I feel like there's like one more, but I don't remember. I don't remember where it is. Okay, let's focus. So we've got a level 7 dude here. So I think this should be a level 6 guy, because it's just a Drake. Like it's not a dragon. Level 7, level 8 is when we're fighting dragons. Yeah. So let's grab this and swap those 2 guys. And then this dragon should definitely not be, what is this? That's a Titan. Yeah, Titans should definitely be high level. Veil, so I'm going to change this guy's name, but the Mind Flare, and I do have the Mind Flare art I can drop in there. Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Do I have it? Have I downloaded it yet? Where is it? Downloads. There it is. The Mind Flare. There it is. So here's the final art, and we'll move his stat block around. And this is another example of like where I'll probably need to. So let's see the full art here. So I'll probably need to like expand the canvas in one area or another, and like how creepy is this? Like look at, he's got like a chest mouth. I don't know, ugh. But like that's cool. I think that's some pretty sick art from Earl Lan. They say to drink lemon water occasionally, but don't overdo it. You get dental issues. Yeah. Evan, press the red button in a text box to extend the width. You don't have to manually stretch it. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Don't say that. Are you serious? Here comes some science. No, the red button makes it so that you can like link 2 different things. Or is it a different red button? Orlando, Help me out, man. Red button doesn't work. Oh, maybe the yellow button? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that does. I don't know what the yellow button does. Let's zoom out. Brandon, hey, Ghostbit, good to see you, man. Are you back home from work, or are you about to? Did you just wake up and you're heading to work? Or you're at work. You're probably at work right now. I won't tell anybody. Brandon's got a sweet job. They let him watch anime at work and stuff. Chud. Oh yeah, Chud was already here. At work. All right. It's cool hanging out with you, man. And I think I have the updated art for this guy too. Let me go ahead and grab that. Got some new Manticore art. Yeah, so we do have the new art for this. Let's drag that in here. Where'd it go? Sorry, guys. I had it and then I lost it. Oh, it's right. It's right there. It's right exactly where it should be. I was dragging it to the folder, and then yeah, here we go. I got the high res art. Look at that! Look how cool that is. Got, like skulls and yucky things all over him. Let's scooch this up. How cool! He's got like this sword with runes on it and stuff. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to move the stat blocks around so we can see more of this cool art. I feel like yeah, that guy can definitely be level 15 or whatever. Like we do need some higher level things, not just for babies, not just baby campaigns. All right, so we'll just get him roughly in the right spot, and then we'll tweak it later. So this guy is a level 12, so we need to swap this guy. Mind Flayer, swap here. This is a level 13, level 15. So we have two level 15 things. So this could be level 14. There we go, level 14, and then we'll swap the place of these two guys. Perfect. And so this one, whatever this ends up being, I don't know what this is. I'm waiting on art. I basically said, like, draw me the scariest thing you can imagine. And it might be on its own spread. So like this guy, we'll like get this guy out of here. So like this guy's gonna go, and then like the stat block is gonna be on over here, and the art is going to like spread across the entire thing. Yeah. So so whatever the biggest spookiest dude that I can think of, big boy monster. Yeah. He's probably going to be like a full spread. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. It's gonna be super cool though. So if we do that, then we'll have a space for one more legendary monster. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. It might be like one more like lower level thing, like level 8, level 9, level 10, something like that. We have a construct. We have like the big bad dude. We have the eyeballs. We got this thing and then that thing. We have like this is like a lich type of spellcaster type of thing. We have a big titan, a couple of different titans. There's like a flame titan. This is a skeletal titan. This one is cool. Like whenever he takes damage and stuff, like he splinters. Like if he takes bludgeoning damage, he'll splinter into like skeleton minions. I really like that one. Okay, so I'm getting sidetracked. I vote making my character Dark Claw into a monster from when he suffered losing his gravity magic and being consumed by time magic. Yeah, we could probably use like another like archmage spellcaster type of thing. That'd be kind of cool. Edward doesn't listen at work. Good. You should work at work. Work diligently. Work diligently. Okay. So I think we decided that this guy does need to be not level 5. I think he is going to be the lowest level dragon. Um, but a dragon should not be a level 5. I think a dragon has to be higher than that. So maybe we can swap this thing and that thing. So we have level 3, 4, 5, 6, and then another 6, and then here we have like 7, 2 sevens. Yeah, I like that. At least I don't know if it'll end up that way, but at least I think we're closer. We're closer to where it should be than not. And I think we have some more art for this also. No, I think that ends there. So some of these are. Oh, I messed with. I actually cried. I'll fix that later. Okay, so we were working on Nelzar, Apex Predator. So now that we know that she's level 6, yeah. So having a couple different level 6 things is cool. Should we have another level 5 thing? I think that's good. Oh, I know what monster we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and add it now because I already know that that's what that is. We're gonna use this art. Nope, pushing the wrong buttons. We're going to use. Where is it? Go up. Package, file art. We're gonna use. Where is it? We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. There it is. I see it. Yeah, the basilisk. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do that. We'll do that, and then this guy will be his own spread. Let it be written, let it be done. Duplicate spread. You guys, the GM guide is already over 110 pages. So the GM guide is probably going to be the biggest out of all the. It is going to be the biggest out of all books because all of these monsters. Why did this duplicate? Duplicated the wrong thing. So GMs, I'm looking out for you guys. Duplicate spread. There we go. So let's delete both of these. And then we're making the executive decision of this is just going to be its own big, awesome thing. I do have a cool art of like a sort of a time dragon type of thing. Maybe we can stick that in here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If I can't find it in like 2 minutes, then I'll just keep going. But if I can find it, that might be a cool thing. Maybe we don't even need a new thing. More art. We do have a lot of art. Let me see if I can find a time dragon. It's pretty sweet looking. Like it's not like super scary epic level thing, but it is pretty sweet. Chud? What did Chud say? Chud saying good stuff? Any boss vampire? Oh, mummy type. Yeah, that would be cool. We do have like the Withering Dunes as like a cool like sandy area, desert area. Sometimes should be low because dragons are cool and even low level command should face them. Yeah, low level dragons are drakes. Yeah. I think like MCDM, what are they? I think their dragons like start at like level 15. Dragons are not. I don't know if I want to go that far. Like you should be able to fight dragons like once you're like good powerful heroes. The big cards, vampire. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Let's stop distracting me for myself for a second. Let's see if I can find this. Time dragon. Check my email real quick if I can pull it up. All right, you guys, put me on a timer. Put me on a timer. Don't actually put me on a timer. I can't. I can't handle the stress of that. I found it. I found it. Yep, there it is. Download. I don't know if I even ever downloaded the high res file from the artist. Okay, Time Dragon. I'm gonna rename it to Time Dragon. All right, so let's take a look at Time Dragon. You guys tell me, is this cool enough to be its own spread? It's pretty cool. Like there's like this kobold here. Is that Stabs? Or is this like a fox person? I don't know. Pretty sweet Time Dragon though. Pretty sweet Time Dragon. This is by Eddie York. It's kind of cool. I mean, I might have to extend the canvas like north and south. Maybe edit. I would probably edit this out because this is weird for scale. Like this would be fairly easy for me to edit out. What do you guys think about Time Dragon? You guys think about Time Dragon is cool? Yeah, there's planets in here. Level 20, be a monster that eats planets. Yeah. I was going to say that some dragons should be low. Okay, we already read that. Warren asks, question, for the big cards for monsters, are they going to be printed all on one side? So there's going to be, so each card is, so like one side is going to be art. So like you stick it on the GM screen, you know, whatever. Stick it on the GM screen. One side is art for the players to see. The other side is the stat block for you to see if you're the GM. So that's what the monster cards are. So like you see this. That's what that is. Or like the art basilisk. Yeah, basilisk is cool. So I think the basilisk art might be. I think that's going to be like part of one of the adventures, like just one of the quests, and that'll just be a cool splash page. Like go fight this thing. Like they're sacrificing people to this basilisk. Like whatever. Yeah, the adventure really pushed it up. Yeah, it definitely did. Definitely want a basilisk as a pet. Yeah, cool. That'd be sweet. Thanks, Evan. So much great content, Edward. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for all the cool suggestions and encouragement, and I really appreciate it. I respect that. Level 15 dragons. Yeah, you can always fight young dragons. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, young dragons. It's like I want to be a boxer, but I only want to fight young boxers. I only want to fight toddlers. Like that feels non-heroic. Yeah, Evan, stop distracting Evan. Why aren't wyverns weaker than aren't wyverns weaker than dragons? Yeah, wyverns. Yeah, wyverns, drakes. Same thing in my mind. I'm sure there's like some lore difference, but they're the same thing. Only way to stop stabs is by freezing time. Kung Fu Panda's Chi form. I don't know what that is, but I don't know what his Chi form is. Time Dragon is pretty cool for level 20 laser. Might be cool. If anyone can make a Time Dragon that feel cool thematic, but not unreasonably complex, it's you, Evan. Yeah, like how would you even fight this thing? Chrono Calamity? That might be on too much on the nose. That might be too on the nose. It's a sweet name. It's a sweet name, but it might be too on the nose. If a toddler was making trouble, you do have to wrangle toddlers, but yeah, it's not nice to fight them. You gotta let them. If you do fight them, you do have to let them win. Otherwise, they'll cry. Whether the Time Dragon was a patron, and for the Shadow Reaver, that's when you gotta fight. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be pretty sweet. So I don't know. Like Time Dragon is like cool. I feel like this is like an 8 level cool. I'm looking for a 10 or an 11. You know, this is like B plus tier. Time Dragon. Time Dragon? Question mark. So if it was this would probably be like a single page thing, and then we'd stick like a vampire on the other page. I don't think out of everything, I don't think I have any vampire art yet, but that would be pretty sweet. So like this would probably be just like a single spread, and then I might like rotate it Not that way. I might rotate it like this way. That kind of thing might be pretty sweet. But he is definitely not a 2-page spread worthy, I don't think. I mean, it is sweet, but it's like B plus in terms of like awesomeness. And then I would probably paint out. I'd probably paint out this little kobold or whatever this little fox creature is, because I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm sure there was a cool story behind whatever that was. Time Dragon is neat, but keep looking. Yeah, a version of the Raven Queen could be real nice. A human turned to deity. Yeah. So like, how would you even fight this thing? You know, like unless everybody's flying around, like it's just weird. So I'm not sure about that. Yeah, something that you can fight like a humanoid type of thing. Oh, my monkey's getting squished. Some humanoid type of thing would be cool. So like at a certain point, like the bigger you get, the scarier it is, and then like the biggest baddest dude is like not this big, but it's like the same size as you, like a smart human, a smart thing, like a spellcaster, like a lich, like that kind of thing is scarier than like the big bad dragon that breathes fire and like stuff, because you don't know what the thing is gonna do. Like you pretty well know what the dragon's gonna do. It's gonna like smack you around and breathe fire and fly around and like do spooky things. But if it's like a person with a face and like some arms and legs, like ooh, something scary about that. Something extra scary about that. So let me duplicate this and put vampire duder. A grounded or physical form while astral dragon kicks your butt. Perhaps. Okay, so I think this one is probably going to be part of an adventure. So vampire dude, we'll go ahead and move vampire dude up here. What level is Strahd? What is Strahd's Curse of Strahd? Let's get some inspiration. Let's swing this camera back on over here, everybody. Turn the volume back up, the light volume. And let's go to. Let's see if this works. Hey, it works. Let's go to. I think we might need to turn that light down. It won't be too shiny once we open up. Yeah, it's not going to be too shiny now that it's opened up. Over here, my big giant bag of almonds. And I know it would bug a lot of people if I tried to like munch on almonds while I was talking to you guys, so I'm not, even though I very badly want to munch on some almonds. Okay, so where is Strahd in this? Where Raven? I love having maps, so we're definitely doing a map, but it is Rudolf von Richten. I didn't know that was his name. What was I saying? I was saying something about a map. Cloth map. We're getting a cloth map. Where is he? Does anybody? If anybody wants to help me find him, I feel like I'm getting close, but maybe I'm not. CR 15, but where is he? Did I miss him? That's not Strahd. He looks like Strahd. Strahd, here he is. Strahd von Zarovich. Ooh, and I want to look at the Flea Mortals. The Flea Mortals Strahd. What's his name? What's the Flea Mortals Strahd's name? Where's my Flea Mortals? They have fled. I think it's in the Where Evil Lives book also. So we'll grab that. So we'll compare. So yeah, let's do a little bit of cooking on vampires. So let's forget about tweaking the Draco. I'll do that later. I'll do that on my own time. Probably a 2-page stat block. Okay, so there's lair actions. I never ever remember to do lair actions. Let's zoom in. Oh, look at that. I moved my desk up. And the camera's on a stand. So I never remember to do lair actions. Minions, that's cool. Heart of Sorrow, that's a cool name. Rictavio, I don't know what that is. Strahd's Crest, I like having a crest. Okay, yeah. So this is a big chunker. This is a big chunker. Small font too. Do I need to like bring this up closer so you guys can see? Let's use Forbidden Lands to help us. There we go. Can you read that? Is that focusing? Is that out of focus? You guys tell me if this is Von Glauer. Yeah, that's right. Spoiler. Sorry. Look away. I told you what we're doing. I feel like that might be a little bit out of focus. We can actually just move our desk down just a little bit. All right. Focus. Good enough. So AC 16 hit points 144. Like that is not a lot of hit points. So he's got to have some cool stuff going on. Ignore all that. Speed 30 feet. Whatever. A little out of focus. Is it still out of focus? Do we need more light? There we go. Maybe that helps. A little bit readable. I think that's better. You guys tell me if that's fine. Okay. Shape changer. All right. So I'm not gonna read all of this sort of stuff. Legendary resistance 3 times per day. If you failed saving throw, you can choose to succeed instead. Misty escape. When Strahd drops to 0 hit points outside of his coffin, he transforms in a cloud of mist, as in the shape changer trait. Oh no, I do have to read all this. If Strahd isn't in running water or sunlight, he can. And that's from like the Dracula book. It's a cool book. It's a cool book. Old novels are underrated. Enter a tiny bat, but a medium wolf or a medium cloud of mist, or back in his true form. While in bat or wolf form, Strahd can't speak. It's like this. I'm not going to complain. In bat form, his walking speed is 5 feet. It's a flying speed of 30 feet, okay. In wolf form, his walking speed is 40 feet. And while in bat form, he is nocturnal and this and this and this. And while he's in wolf form, he has fur and like the feet and can't use can openers. His statistics, other than his size and speed, are unchanged. Anything he is wearing transforms with them, but nothing he is carrying does. He reverts to his true form if he dies. While in mist form, Strahd can't take any actions, speak, or manipulate objects. He is weightless, has a flying speed of 20 feet. Isn't moving an action? No, moving is move. Can hover and can enter hostile creature space and stop there. In addition, okay, I can't keep reading that. Let's just keep going. Yeah, all right. Leisure resistance 3. Misty escape. When Strahd drops 0 hit points outside of his coffin. Where were we? Transforms into mist instead of falling unconscious. Blah, blah, blah. While at 0 hit points, mist form, he can't revert to his vampire form. Most reaches coffin when 2 hours. Okay, so this is like not combat related stuff, I guess. Regeneration. So this is why he has so few hit points. And okay, let me just go back up to up here. So the hit points, he is a level 17, so he has 17 D8. So his hit die is D8, and he is level 17, so he has 17 of them, plus 68. So that's, I guess, is like Constitution modifier. So plus 4, 4 times 17. Someone do 4 times 17. What is 4 times 17? 4 times 17. It's probably 68. 4 times 17. 68. Okay. So his hit points he has 144 hit points because his stats are based off of the character rules, the hero rules. So because he's level 17, he has to have 144 hit points. Okay. Yeah, I would forget 60% of what he does, and 60% of what he does is pointless. As far as the game is concerned. If you're writing a novel, like it's really interesting why that matters, and like there's some cool callbacks to it. But like if I'm running it, like not only is this like not helpful, it's actually actively harmful. It's getting in the way. It's actually getting in the way. But you guys already know how I feel about that. All right, let's keep going. Regeneration. Strahd regains 20 hit points at the start of his turn if he has at least 1 hit point and isn't in running water or sunlight. If he takes radiant damage or if he takes radiant damage or damage from holy water, this trait doesn't function at the start of his next turn. Okay, so I have some feelings about regeneration. Regeneration, I think, is bad. Regeneration is bad. This isn't a hard and fast thing. This is an opinion where Orlando says, I messed up the programs. You have to double click the anchor point in the direction you want the text to go. Ah, I'll try that. Thank you, Orlando. So regeneration simply adds mathematical bloat in additional operations. So like they're whittling him down and then he's regenerating, and they're whittling him down, he's regenerating. It's like, why not just get, so it, let's just estimate, we want him to last roughly this many rounds. And if he's going to be regenerating 20 hit points every round, if you want it to last 4 rounds, just give him 80 hit points. Just give him 80 more hit points. Like he can still have this number of hit dice if like the mechanics matter to you, and then he's like undead fortitude plus 80 hit points. Like why not do that rather than, and you can narratively, like you can say like, oh, narrate, like narrate how he's regenerating and cool stuff, or like don't worry about any math. Like I don't know. I don't like regeneration unless it's like a really low hit point thing and it regenerates really, really fast. Like a troll with 12 hit points. Like if he gets to 0, he's dead. But if you can't deal 12 at a time, or give him an ability that he can kill a minion or heal, yeah, like that would be cool. Like that would be cool, but like not an automatic ability. Like I don't know. So there could be like regeneration should be like a gatekeeping mechanism, not like a thing to balance a boss. So like a low level party cannot kill a troll because they can never deal like more than like 20 damage in one turn. So if you're fighting a legendary troll, he's got 20 hit points. He's only legendary because he regenerates, right? And like if you can't deal 20 damage in a turn, he will always come back, and that feels really cool. Like, and you can just tell them he has 20 hit points. You need to be able to deal 20 damage to him, like on a meta level. And if they can't do that, it will always win, and they just have to run away. That feels super scary. But just having a regeneration to just get his hit points up to where they should have been in the first place, I feel like just makes me do more math, and I don't appreciate that. A case of them trying to bring mechanics to everything that a vampire is in fiction, yeah. Yeah. Me having to use regenerate with my skeleton dragon because I wasn't expecting Ben to do I wasn't expecting Ben to do 60% of his hit points in one turn. Yeah, D&D is hard to balance. That was when Brandon was a demon in a one-shot for us. So D&D is hard to balance. It has to be like on a razor's edge. If it was like just a little bit too hard, it's way too hard. If it's a little bit too easy, it's way too easy. Because with a solo encounter, like action economy is really a big deal. So D&D is very hard to balance solo encounters. So yeah, you need band-aids like this. Yeah, not really, but anyway. Okay, spellcasting. Strahd is a 9th level spellcaster. His spellcasting ability is intelligence. So like, I don't need to know this. I don't need to know his level spellcasting. I don't need to know his spellcasting ability. Like, I don't need any of his stats. All right, let me stop complaining. Let's take inspiration. Let's look at good things. So he does a lot of things. Spider climb. That's cool. He can climb on servers. Like, he can fly, can't he? Can't he fly? Tell me he can fly. Speed 30 feet? He can't fly? Oh, man. Vampire weakness, Strahda's felling flaws. So this is cool. This is cool. Forbiddance, he can't enter residence without an invitation from one of the occupants. I like that. So, like, how could people in Barovia live there? Only as a bat? Oh, Void, hey. Hey. Good to see you. What's up? He turns into a bat. I have my first session of Nimble scheduled for this week. Hey, nice. Sci-fi world where magic is obtained through a type of crystal, but there's a shortage. Nice. Love it. Let me know how it goes. Purse of Broad. I don't know what that means. So I like that. So how could he live there? Well, they just don't invite him into the house, and they don't really have to worry about him that much. Like, he's still like, spooky dude. Harmed by running water. He takes 20 acid damage if he ends his turn in running water. That's cool. Stake of Thought. So like, have that, but not like all of these shenanigans over here about like running water and stuff. Nice. I hope you have a lot of fun. Hope you have a lot of fun. Are you running V1 or V2? If you're running V2, let me know. I'll send you some stuff. All right, so vampire weakness, harmed by running water, stake to the heart. If a piercing weapon made of wood is driven into his heart while he's incapacitated in his coffin, he's paralyzed until his stake is removed. I don't think that would ever happen in the story. Yeah, we're looking at Strahd. We're getting running V2. Okay. Did you back it? Do you already have it? If you don't, let me know. I'll send it to you. We're doing some monster creation stuff, and we're looking. Someone suggested we had space for one more legendary monster, and someone suggested a vampire. So I was like, ooh, let's get some inspiration on vampires. So I'm finding a lot of stuff that I don't want to do, and some things that I do want to do. I like the weaknesses. So I might not do it exactly like this, but I like the weaknesses. Sing of the Heart. That'll probably never happen. So I would just cut that. Cause like what kind of GM would allow the party to just like kill the dude who's on the front? Like he's actually on the front of the book. Like what kind of DM would allow the party to like sneak into his like bedroom or like coffin room or whatever, and like just stab him and end the campaign that way? Like how anticlimactic. Like the players think they want to do that kind of stuff. But in reality, that's like it would be it would be the opposite of fun. Probably. I mean, it depends on the group, I guess. Sunlight hypersensitivity. While in sunlight, Strahd takes 20 radiant damage at the start of his turn, and he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Okay, that's kind of cool. So I think there's like sunlight spells, and like there's like a sun sword or something like that. Strahd would never allow anyone to think. Does he even sleep? A vampire could be perfect for chases. I don't know what that is. You have to reach a private residence to. Okay, yeah, that's cool. He could always just like blast a fireball through the window though, because he's got like fireball. But yeah. All right, so let's take a look at his attacks. Multi-attack vampire form only. Strahd makes 2 attacks, only one of which can be a bite attack. Okay, can't bite twice. Why can't he bite twice? Unarmed strike. +9 to hit, 5-foot reach, hit 1d8 plus 4 slashing damage plus 14 necrotic damage. I keep thinking after Bert, but I can't. It's stuck. All right, Brendan. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. Be safe. If the target is a creature, Strahd can grapple it. It's like when would the target ever not be a creature? Like how often is the GM just like sort of having fun, like solo Strahd, like just attacking like boxes? And why couldn't Strahd grapple a box? I don't know. Unarmed strike, 1d8 plus 8 plus 14 necrotic damage. Strahd can grapple it, DC 18 instead of dealing the bludgeoning damage. Oh, instead of bludgeoning. Okay. Um, instead of dealing the bludgeoning damage? Does that make sense? So 8 slashing plus 14 necrotic. Strahd can grapple it instead of dealing the bludgeoning damage. Is that a typo? Does anybody know if that's a typo? Or am I not understanding something? No, you cannot revoke an invitation from a vampire. I think it doesn't work that way. So is that a typo, or am I just misunderstanding? Am I is it so late that I can't think. Bite +9. One willing creature. Ooh, that's cool. One willing creature or a creature that is grappled by Strahd, incapacitated or restrained. Ooh, because he can charm. Okay, that is cool. 7 piercing. So I feel like this should not be 7 piercing damage. Like if someone bit you, like it would hurt. What if the door is closed? We can all agree that vampires can enter public spaces within their operating hours. Yeah, they have to leave parks at sundown though, because parks close at sundown. So I feel like this should be like 1 damage. Like the bite deals 1 damage, plus like a ton of necrotic damage. That's what that should be. The target's hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the necrotic damage taken. I hate that. I hate that mechanic. That's a bad mechanic. I don't like that mechanic, so don't like that. So maybe so it deals like 1 piercing damage, a truckload of necrotic damage, and you take a wound. That's cool. Or maybe it's just it deals 1 damage and you take a wound. No, I feel like it should deal some damage too. So it's like some amount of necrotic damage. Strahd regains hit points. Yep, there we go. He regains hit points. This is much better than regeneration. That's much better. That's much cool. Automatic regeneration, bad. Biting and regaining that much health, like however much blood you lost, is the amount of damage that he will heal himself. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So all right, we're not reducing hit points. That's bad. Target dies if its hit points maximum. Okay, obviously. Humanoid is slain this way. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Charm. Strahd targets one humanoid he can see within 30 feet of him. If the target can see Strahd, the target must succeed on a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw against this magic or be charmed. Okay, DC 7. So DC 17 will save or charmed. That's all you got to say. 30 feet. Charm target regards Strahd as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. The target isn't under Strahd's control, but it takes Strahd's requests and actions in the most favorable way and lets Strahd bite it. That's cool. That's cool. I wouldn't. I don't know how I don't know how I like this. I think that would be unfun to play against. That would be unfun to play against. So it's very much up to the GM to like not say like and use your like highest like 7th level spell slot, and the only one you have, and blast your boys with it. I don't know. I feel like that's probably too much. This could very easily be a very unfun encounter. Um, I know so many people who would willingly fail that save. I mean, the fellow players at the table would find that to be unfun, and they would not like it, and that would make for a very bad game night, I think, if someone willingly failed that save, because then they're attacking the allies. Like that's like PvP. How about a mechanic where it deals wound and damage, and if you go to 0 hit points and gain a second wound simultaneously, something cool happens? I'm not sold on that. I don't know what that. I don't know what it could be. I don't know. I don't know. Keep cooking. Keep cooking, Bruno. I don't know. Charm. So charm is pretty cool. So I would have it like a limited time charm. Like he controls one of your actions or 2 of your actions if you really fail by a large amount. How about saves get harder instead because it's hard to resist him? I think like he could just say like come here, let me bite you, and like you use one of your actions to do that, and then like after he bites you, the charm ends. I think that's cool. So you can't keep abusing it. I think that kind of thing would be sweet. Each time Strahd or one of his companions do anything harmful to the target, it can repeat the saving throw. Okay, so I would just say like rather than repeating saving throw, you bite someone and it ends. Children of the Night. Once per day, Strahd magically calls 2d4 swarms of bats or swarms of rats, provided the sun isn't up. While outdoors, Strahd can call 3d6 wolves instead. Cool. The called creatures arrive in 1d4 rounds, so I don't like that. I don't like that. So I would just say just summon a swarm of bats. So I would say Strahd summons three bat swarms, 1d6 bat swarms per hero. So if you have 10 players, there's 30 minions that you have to deal with. Good luck, everybody. Beast remain for 1 hour. No, we don't need all that. Okay, legendary actions. Strahd takes 3. Blah blah blah. Okay, moves up to speed. Unarmed strike. Bite. Okay, so that is Strahd. Ooh, I like this. Loathsome limbs. A Strahd zombie. Strahd zombie is a bad name. Gray-green flesh looks soft, and its bones seem brittle. Any good hit from a bludgeoning or slashing weapon severs part of the zombie's body. Cool. Okay, so a couple of cool ideas, but I think we can maybe do a little bit better. Let's see. Cool. All right. Hey, Double King, feel free to tell Maia to hop in here. We can do some cooking if you want. You guys can tell her to hop in here if you like. We'll do some live cooking. I'll be on the stream for a bit longer. So this is not Flea Mortals, but this is Where Evil Lives, and I think it has like layers and stuff, which is pretty sweet. Really cool book. If you guys want some cool monsters, these are like super crunchy, but so it is like equally as crunchy as 5e. It's like 5e is crunchy, but like much like 60% of it is bloat. So like it's crunchy, it's a bloated crunchy, but like the crunchiness here is like all of it is like cool and tight and rad, but it's still crunchy. So I can only do these sometimes because it makes my brain hurt. Like look at this art. Look at that art. That is like beautiful. I want that stuff. That is cool art. The Boughs of Eternity. I like that. Does anybody know what? Vampire Lair 208. 208. Shadowkeep. This is a really cool book. Look at that art. That is like cool art. It's a very specific style. Like I don't love the style, but the art is fantastic. Even if you don't like the style, like you can certainly appreciate the art. Look at that. That is so cool. All right, so let's take a look at the stat block. I don't think I've ever looked at it, but I've heard that this out of every creature, yeah. So it's equally as crunchy. This is man, this is shiny paper. So it is equally as crunchy. So it's still a full. Looks like Castlevania. Yeah, it kind of does. So it is still like a full like page. Like so an equal amount of words, but all of these words matter. For maybe like 90% of them matter, right? So that is the cool part about this. So Count Rodar von Glauer. He's got things. Charm, flank, frighten, prone, stun. That makes sense. Resistance to necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. So I don't like the whole bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from mundane attacks. I get that's a 5e thing. I don't like that 5e does that. And I get that you just sort of have to do that at a certain point in 5e. So I do like the resistance to necrotic. That makes sense. That I don't know that the other one had that. We're looking at how monsters in Forbidden Lands operate earlier. Oh yeah, we definitely were. Forbidden Lands, yep. Forbidden Lands is cool. Super duper cool. Resting place when Rodar drops to 0 hit points and isn't in his resting place, he teleports to his resting place. That's cool. While in his resting place, Rodar is stable. After spending 1 hour there, he regains 1 hit point. Spear sacrifice 3 times per day. And sorry, I wish I could zoom in further, but it would just make it blurry. It can't focus too close. Rodar is surrounded by 3 floating spears. Ooh, that's what was in the art, wasn't it? I think we had some cool spears in the art. Yep, there they are. 1, 2, 3. That's cool. Oh, look at that! Look at that sword. I know this is like glossy paper. But look at that sword. That is so cool. Like it's not over the top. It's like elegant and like handsome. That's a handsome sword. I wonder who their artist is. Who does anybody know who MCDM's artist is? Oh, a ton of people. Okay, I don't know. Grace Cheung. I wish I had the MCDM budgets. We'd have some super spicy art. Okay, so let's quit getting distracted. Rodar is surrounded by 3 floating spears of shimmering darkness, which he can summon to a free hand on his turn. No action required. When Rodar fails an ability check or saving throw, he can choose to destroy one of these 3. Okay, so this is legendary resistance. Okay. One of these 3 spears and succeed on the ability check or saving throw instead. Once he destroys all 3 spears, he can't use his Spear of the Damned attack or Spear Sacrifice until the next dusk. Okay, cool. Legendary resistance. Don't say so short. Yeah. I would love to have a bunch of money and just like pay a bunch of artists a lot of money to make some awesome art. So like I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Goodwill. Like I've been Goodwill shopping a lot of the art. So multi-attack Rodar makes 2 Sanguinous, cool names, a very cool name. Sanguinous snacks, and he can make 1 Spear of the Damned attack for each spear sacrifice he has remaining. Gotcha. Okay, plus 12 to hit, 13 slashing, 14 necrotic. If the target is a creature, their hit point maximum is reduced, so I don't like that. And he regains hit points equal to that number. So I don't like that. I might do like, and they can't be healed for 1 round or something like that. Mike Shea wrote it? Oh, Mike Shea, way to go, Mike. The lazy DM himself. Anything that he writes, you guys should buy. This reduction lasts until reversed. Okay, whatever. Or similar supernatural. Okay. The target dies. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So just remove all this stuff. They can't be healed for 1 round. Cool. Or any healing they take is damage instead, like even spicier. So that's something they find out, like poisoned blood or like necrotizing blood or like something sanguineous. Like what a cool name. It deals was 13, like 20 something damage, 27 damage, and then he regains some hit points. That's pretty cool. Spear the Damned, a range attack, 12. Okay, it's good for another range attack, 12 to hit, whatever. 10 damage. Is it their crease? So 10 damage, knocked prone, and restrained. Ooh, because the spear impales them. That's cool. That's cool. So 10 damage, knocked prone, and restrained. So they're prone, they're speared to the ground. They can free themselves or another creature within the reach by using action or bonus action, DC 20, Strength Athletics. So does anybody know, this is something I've wondered about 5e for a long time. Why do they have strength and athletics? Why not just say DC 20 athletics? Why does it always have both? I've never known that, and whenever like I'm editing stuff out, I always edit out like whatever the thing is. Why not just have athletics? Does anybody know why that is? DC 20 athletics check on a success. The creature is freed and they're strained. Okay, they're freed. Or if he uses a legendary action, then they're freed also. Cool. Beguile. Rodar targets 1 creature you can see. DC 20 Wisdom save on a failure. They use their reaction, so this is already better. So yeah, Mike is definitely doing it. I think it's because they treat the reader as dumber than they are. I don't know if that's why. Like I think they have a reason, but I don't know. So I can already tell this is better than Charm. On a failed save, they use the reaction, if available, to move up to their speed to a location chosen by Rodar, then either makes a melee attack against a target of their choice or falls prone. Rodar's choice. Okay. That's cool. Inhuman agility, Rodar moves up to his speed without. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And can he fly? Yeah. So this guy, he can just fly. That's much better. Put this into words better. Yeah. Put it into words better. So I definitely don't think the designers think people are dumb. I don't think they think they're better than other people. I think there's like some design requirements that someone has imposed upon them that they always do this, and there's some reason. I just don't know what the reason is. Yeah, that's fine. Reactions: Withering Stare. If when Rodar is hit by an attack by a creature you can see within 60 feet, his eyes bore into the creature. Ugh. They have to succeed in a whiz save or take. Okay, that's cool. All right, so you hit me, make a whiz save or take 10 damage. His 3 villainous actions. I do like the villainous actions. But one, I frequently don't. So whenever I've ran this, my feedback is I frequently don't know when to do this. Or I wait till too late. Or I just forget to do them, period. So it's sort of like he can take these whenever. He can do this like whenever you want. And it's cool to have that freedom. If I was a better GM, if I was smarter or had more like bandwidth while I was GMing, I think that's probably more what it is. If I had more bandwidth, I could probably think about it and like plan it out more. But I like just having when he drops to half, this happens. When he drops to 0, this happens. I like that. It's a little bit more straightforward. The same kind of idea, I guess. Like they get harder or something changes, but it's less taxing on me. So this is really cool. Or so like making sure that everything is understandable without other content, even though you can infer to the other rules. Yeah, maybe. Bloodstained Rodar causes blood to explode in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you can see within 120 feet. Creatures who aren't undead in the area, DC do a dex save or be bloodstained. Okay. Ooh, I like this, like these unique niche conditions. He's bloodstained. And what does it do? It says it right here. He has advantage on attacks against bloodstained creatures, and they have disadvantage on saves against his beguiling thing. That's really cool. I really like that. I like the creatures that impose some sort of condition. So that's something that that I've been doing just sort of independently. Let's go back to here. So something that this guy does, he has Cruelty's Gift. So when he bites you, you gain Cruelty's Gift. You're vulnerable to necrotic damage until you receive healing. So it's like a little temporary, and he has a Rot Breath and like different ways to deal necrotic damage. And then this guy, so like the dragons sort of do that. This is something the dragons do. When they bite you, they impose some condition. So when he bites you, you gain Pollen Blight. So this guy this is Florindris. Let me turn off this thing. So this is Florindris, the like a floral dragon. So she will give you Pollen Blight, and Pollen Blight is forced movement, also knocks you prone. And again, magical healing ends this effect. So that kind of thing is really cool. Or maybe it should be like moving 30 feet in a turn, like ends this effect. You know, so it's something that like you can shake it off. So and Pollen Blight, so Florin just like does a lot of things to move you around, and she, you know, you don't want to be knocked prone, basically. So I really like that. No, not Pollen Blight. I'm literally, ugh, that's rough. As you looked in the 5e book, they differentiate them as strength, lifting, push, pull, or break, something, raw strength. Athletics, climbing, jumping, swimming. I don't ever know when, I can't think of any situation where they say just make a strength check, like without the skill. So like if like just making dex checks or strength checks were like more of a thing, like I'm sure it's in the rules somewhere, but if it was more of a thing and not just like, I don't know. I mean, it's a good explanation. Like it's a fun explanation. It's just I don't necessarily buy it, or I don't agree with the thing. Okay, so I like Bloodstain. I like this thing where like you mark them as if like some condition, and it doesn't do anything on its own. Like I'm about to set up something really cool, guys. I like that kind of stuff. Action 2, Firedrake Rodar, along with anything he is wearing or carrying, turns into a large dragon made of fire. What? Fire? Is that a thing with vampires? Let's keep reading. When he does, he releases any creature he was grappling. Okay, if Rodar was grappled or restrained, that effect ends on him. He then flies up to twice his speed to an instead of up to twice his speed, just say 60 feet. Like we already have his thing here. Like we don't need something to reference. Just go and say it here. But I understand that this is like using the 5e style guide. So like if Mike Shea wrote this, then like he's designing within constraints. So if he was designing his own thing, I'm sure it'd be like, you know, better, faster, more powerful. He ignores difficult terrain. So okay, so he turns the thing, he moves, pass through objects. Each creature Rodar passes through makes a dex save or takes 36 fire damage. Ooh, half as much on a save. Okay, so that's cool. So he can escape grapple. He can like get out of a tight spot and deal a bunch of damage to a bunch of people. That's cool. So I don't like that this is dex save and this is also dex save. So this is a wisdom save and this is a wisdom save. So I don't like that we're like repeating the saves. So wiz save, dex save, strength save. Oh no, strength check, athletics check. There's a lot of saving throws. I don't know how I feel about that. Mist of Blade. So this is the last big thing. Rodar fills the area within 60 feet of him with thick, swirling mists, heavily obscuring that area for other creatures. He can teleport up to 4 times into any unoccupied space in the mist and make one sanguineous attack after each teleport. Okay, that's cool. The mist dissipates at the end of this action. Mist of Blades. Okay, so I guess that means this one is subtle. This one is very subtle, and I'd be careful about this because you have to know that heavily obscuring that area means that, and it's only for other creatures. So if you missed other creatures, then like you might miss this. Like, well, then he's like he can't see also. So the heroes can't see. The heroes can't see, so attacks against them are made with advantage. So he's going to be making four sanguineous attacks against these heroes with advantage, unless they can see in the dark. So like this is subtly complex, more complex than you might think. And if you don't attack with advantage, then there's a chance that he just does 0. There's a good chance that he just does 0, because attacking with disadvantage in 5e is a big deal. Attacking with advantage is a huge deal. Advantage and disadvantage in Nimble, like it will lower your average damage or increase your average damage, but it's not as big of a deal. It's much less punishing to forget that. Yeah. Okay, Edward, appreciate it. It might just be in the spirit of thoroughness. Yeah, I guess. Having something you can add your proficiency bonus to helps with balance. Yeah, proficiency. Don't get me started on proficiency bonus. Mist of Blades, Rodar. I already read that. Utility spells. Cool. He does these things. Okay, so those are so. As far as stat blocks, this one is way, 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 way better. And I'm sure like this would actually be like a tough nut to crack for players at whatever CR this is supposed to be for. So that one is way cooler. Give us some cool ideas. Okay, let's go back to this. Start with like it's hard to my brain. Okay. What were we working on? Let's do a little bit of cooking. Let's cook up a vampire boy. Vampire dude. I already forgot what level Strahd was supposed to be for. That's why we looked it up in the first place. What level is Strahd supposed to be for? He is level 1 to 10. Kind of lame if he's level 10. Let's just see what levels we need. 14, 15. Let's just do 16. Just for now, solo Vampire Lord. Okay. Not Strahd. Oop. Not Strahd. No legendary resistance. Should it be resistant to necrotic damage? Yeah, so the legendary monsters, so rather than like CR 16 or whatever, this is a level 16 party of any level will fight this, and it will be a level 16 party of any size, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. It doesn't matter the party size, really. It's basically irrelevant. So it's independent of the level, the amount of the people in the party, because they act after each hero. So you can play this equally well with 3 players or like 13 players. Strahd. Resistant to necrotic damage. So I don't want to punish like Shadowmancers. I don't want to punish Shadowmancers. I don't want them to feel like they're useless as they are fighting Strahd. So I don't know that we want to be resistant to necrotic damage. It just feels like an unfun mechanic. It's cool flavor-wise, but unfun as your Strahd. Feels unfun. Let's think about that. I feel like he should definitely charm. That seems very vampire-y. I'm going to take these headphones off because they are... resistance to necrotic damage makes sense thematically. Maybe vulnerable to radiant. Yeah, maybe. I feel like that would be... that's also like maybe too obvious. Like cool flavor-wise, but not particularly a fun way to play. So it's a story, but it's also a game. So it has to be cool on both ends. Print chat. Necrotic heals him. That's cool. So maybe he could have an ability where like he could do this once. or like he could like reflect necrotic damage, or like something like that, like something more interesting than just resistance or vulnerability. So maybe like when he's bloodied, he's no longer vulnerable. No longer. It's like something happens where that wears off. Like that kind of thing is okay. Vulnerable to radiant damage. That might be too good. Because radiant, let's go over to core rules. I'm starting to fade, so we might not be able to finish this straw, but we can cook up a couple of not straw ideas. Let's go to radiant. So radiant has some abilities where, like condemn, unerringly deal 50 damage to a creature. 2d12 plus 20 radiant damage. So like there are some beefy radiant spells, and that can just like mow not straw down. That's what I look like with the headphones. Yeah, I do have top of my head. Would absorbing necrotic make any class useless? That would indeed make the Shadowmancer basically useless. Worse than useless. Yeah, because Shadow Blast is necrotic. Summon Shadows is necrotic. I guess there's subclasses that can change their damage type. So maybe he could be resistant to necrotic. I don't know. Garlic bread. I think we could be more interesting than that. I think that is a bit obvious. Okay, so what about this? So like the obvious thing in 5e is like the +1 sword. It's just always good. The cooler way to do it is like sometimes it deals additional damage, but there's this drawback. Like what if he did that? So like if you take advantage of his weakness, he will like do something to you. So it's a choice. Do I want to like really like gig him with this vulnerability? Because that means he's going to do something back to me. I like that. I do like that. He's not gonna have Trek. Hey, how long you been here, Trek? Yeah, we're cooking up some not Strahd stuff. Yeah, so we were just talking about regeneration. I think regeneration is sort of like an unfun mechanic. It just adds additional math steps. So rather than regenerating, like let's just have his hit points as whatever it should be, and we can narratively say like, oh, he's undead and he's regenerating, like, but like without the math of it, and without like the frustration. I do like, so if we did want to do, he's a vampire. He's got to bite people. If so, a cool way to have regeneration is when you bite, because it's something you have to set up. It's not something you can do. Just got here for some early morning bad guy design. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. I guess it's morning. You're up early. What time is it? Like 6:30 or something? Trek. Yeah. So bite must be charmed? Question mark. And then 1 damage. Truck load 1 person damage, truckload of necrotic damage, heals self. Yep, I think that is like iconic vampire nonsense right there. Old Nightooth. Old One Tooth necrotic boosts his attacks. I don't want to punish certain heroes too much. It makes sense in the story, but I don't want to punish the heroes too much. I'll think about that. So like limiting the hero's options is unfun. So like this vulnerability here, like giving them this one cool shiny object, like he's vulnerable to radiant damage. That makes sense. But on the other hand, giving them this drawback, like he will attack you with advantage with his next attack or something. Like I don't know, like he hates you, like it infuriates him when he's in the sun, like that kind of thing. He will do something in return. So now pressing that vulnerability is something that makes for an interesting thing. And if everybody just does that, then like maybe he's gonna mow them. Like you start mowing him down, he's gonna start mowing you down. So it's a lever that you can pull or not. Special abilities. He's definitely gonna fly. He's definitely has to fly. Aura. Maybe he has like a charming aura. Charming aura. Like having an aura is cool. Maybe when maybe he like automatically charms bloodied characters. Auto charms them. That's kind of spicy. That's kind of spicy. Like we want it to feel distinct from the Mind Flayer, not Mind Flayer. How about a blood drinking weapon? Think Vox Machina Vampire. I mean, why not just have him bite people? Because like he wants to bite people. Bat teleport, like how decoy works. Ooh, yeah, bat decoy. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Bat decoy. Bat decoy. Bat decoy is cool. Maybe that could be like his last stand. Bat decoy. Which work? I don't know. Summon bat swarms. Like maybe that's when he can summon like a whole ton of bat swarms. Maybe that. Let's do bat decoy on when he's bloodied. Yeah, and then. Okay, so he's got to have like some sort of cool, like a rapier or like thin, elegant sword. Okay, so move and attack, or move and charm. That's cool. And maybe he has advantage when close to a creature. That's cool. Or other creatures have disadvantage when near him. Like you can see his baby blues or his baby reds or whatever color his eyes are. You can see his eyes really real close, and he can like he can charm you with his eyes. More when he's closer to you. So that it incentivizes him to move closer to people. So he can move and charm, move and attack, move and charm, or bite. BECKO, beckon and bite. So he can like anybody who's charmed, he can like beckon them to you and then chomp down. He'll self ends the charm. In the charm, cool. That's pretty spicy. We're getting somewhere. We're definitely getting somewhere. Like this guy's already feeling, and the numbers are the easy part. So this guy's already feeling pretty cool, pretty unique. Okay, so he's moving and attacking with his sword. He's got a cool aura, maybe. I do like the marking thing. I did like that a lot. The idea of beckoning, forcing someone out of position. Yeah, I like that. And not only that, but like forcing them to spend one of their actions, since like this is a cool thing. Spend one of their actions. I think the idea of like mind control, where like you attack your ally, doesn't make sense for a vampire, but making them run to you so that you can bite them makes sense. So like you make them waste their action to run toward you so you can bite them. Definitely feels like what it should be. So maybe not move and charm. Yeah, maybe like it deals psychic damage or something. And so we have to have like a big. Let's give him a ranged attack. Okay, so we have a cool melee attack. Let's have a big attack where he can use when he doesn't move. Or maybe is the bite the big attack? I think the bite is the big attack. Yeah, because, yeah, truckload damage. Truckloads are big. Truckload, not truckload. Yeah, I love the idea of beckoning, forcing someone out of position. Maybe a bonus against bit heroes. Or it gives disadvantage to charm attempts and save spells. Disadvantage when trying to hide because of heightened smell. Do they have heightened smell? I don't know. Oh yeah, some kind of blood bending ability. Ooh, yeah. I think he probably needs an AOE. Oh, what if we did? What if we did this? All right, let's get these bats out of here. Maybe his AOE could be like summon a bunch of bat minions. Every bloodied hero explodes, dealing bunch of damage. Like, what if like every hero that was bloodied, like the blood, that may be a little bit too hard to balance. Like it might be like way not good enough, and way too good at other times. Let's go to our necrotic spells and see if we get some inspiration. I think he needs like some ranged thing, some kind of blood bending ability. I think that would be cool. We can flavor that. There is Gangrenous Burst, Unspeakable Word, Creeping Death. What if he had Void Cloak or something like Void Cloak? Would that be pretty cool? Maybe that could be his ability. Melee attacks against you have disadvantage. Like it doesn't make sense. Okay, so how can he be survivable? It doesn't make sense for him to have heavy armor. Like he is not heavily armored. He's probably like wearing robes. Like if anything, he would probably be unarmored. None. So let's say he's unarmored. Let's say he's unarmored and like he's not going to have a truckload of hit points. Let's go and turn back on this so we can check our spreadsheet. And let's just go and fill in for, let's just assume he's going to be level 16. So unarmored, so level 16. So he's going to have 425 plus 1 point times 425 times. Let's just treat him. Let's give him 425 hit points because he'll have other ways to mitigate damage as if he had medium armor. So 425, and maybe we can even downgrade him to 295. Okay, so he's gonna have 335. So this many points. Okay, and then his last stand is gonna be 160. I'll just put that there just so we can remember that. So 160. And then his little attack, what is this? Save DC is 18. Okay, that makes sense. Because saves are a bit harder in Nimble. It could be 20 like the rest, but I think 18 is fine. Attack, small damage, 23 and 46. Okay, so let's do 23. It'll be like necrotic damage, blood damage, something weird. And then this is going to be the big attack of 46. 46. 46. You know what? Actually, let's give him the heavy armor ability. The heavy armor amount of hit points 335, because he's going to be able to charm people and regain 100 hit points or so. So what we're building, instead of armor, he has this way to regain hit points. And it's something that is a setup and it's thematic and it feels really cool and it feels fair. Like it feels unfair. Like it sucks, but in a fun way. And he can like his AoE ability could be like summon a whole bunch of bats, right? He can summon a whole bunch of bats, and maybe at range. Not rage, at range, or like spread out. At range, spread out. Who knows? Ooh, maybe summon blood bats. Like all the blood that's been spilled, like he turns those into blood bats. Okay. Oh, we're cooking. We're so cooking. Okay. So he summons he turns blood into bats. Each bloodied hero for each bloodied hero, he turns their blood into some number of bats. Ah, cool. So before he does this ability, so this ability that he has, he can do it at any time, but he wants to spread the damage out. Oh, I love it. So, and it feels good to like if everybody's going down roughly the same level, like it feels good mechanically at the table, like rather than just like focusing one guy down, he's dead, focusing one guy's down, he's dead. So it feels good to have a narrative reason why he would want to do this thing that is uh, optimal narratively, like story wise. So summon bloodbats. So this is something he can do. So for each bloodied hero, he turns blood into bats, and it's going to be like some number of like D12 minions. That's cool. That is really cool. Why'd you cook is so fun. Yeah, you guys give me some really cool ideas. So I think four things to choose from is plenty. There's plenty. Some cool things to set up, and if he has like some cool aura. Oh, and his aura is going to be pretty close to Void Cloak. Melee attacks against you have disadvantage. The first creature that makes a melee attack against you takes like some amount of damage. So he's got Void Cloak. Yeah, he flies. So it's not going to be Void Cloak exactly. So this is something that the melee characters will want to make sure they turn off because they don't want. How about the first melee attack against you? So it's not the first melee attack against you. Each turn has disadvantage. Yeah. Something like that. Like it's not there yet, but we're close. We're getting close. So that's a good way to mitigate melee damage and sort of make up for his quite low hit points. And it's a good way to deal a little bit of damage off turn. And they take 1d12 necrotic damage or whatever. Something happens. What if it was this? So instead of disadvantage, because I don't want to punish rogues, I don't want to punish cheats. I don't want to punish cheats. This. The first melee attack against you each turn. The first melee attacker against you each turn takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Their attack is reduced by this amount. Oh, cool, nice. So they cheat, they can still crit, they can still do their sneak attack. The monk, the Zephyr, he's not overly punished with disadvantage. Oh, I have to move. Sorry, guys, I gotta move this. You guys gotta tell me. Okay, that is cool. So the first melee attacker against you each turn takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Their attack is reduced by this amount, so it might be once per turn. Once per turn, swap place with a bat minion. Ooh, yeah. I like it. Move. So move. Slash swap. So yeah, we'll do that. So like anytime he can move, he can just swap place with a bat minion instead. Trek. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That was a solid idea. Trek can cook, you guys. Trek, he can cook. He can absolutely cook. Yeah. Check out his channel too. If you guys are not following him, he's got some good stuff. So vulnerable to radiant damage, but like there's a drawback and then drawback to drawback. The first melee attacker against you each turn takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Their attack is reduced by this amount. I like that. It might be too much. We'll have to test it. We'll definitely have to test it. But on average, it's gonna be like -6 damage, which is roughly how much damage like medium armor would reduce. So I don't think it's reducing it too much. So it's 6-7 damage. Sometimes it'll do 1, sometimes it'll do 12, right? What could he have? It's some sort of cloak. It's some sort of cloak that he has, right? Is it a blood cloak? Are we leaning too hard on the blood thing? Ooh, sanguine. Guin, sanguine cloak, something like that. Like it's blood still, but it's like less on the nose. Sanguine cloak. That's kind of cool. What determines a bloody hero? Half hit points if they're at half. Cries a hunter, but hunter, you'd be happy to know. You'd be happy to know that at level 16, like all of your hunter's mark, all of your attacks work. He's got no armor. So hunter would absolutely just murder Strahd. Not Strahd. I really like that ability. So what if it was this? The first attack against you each turn. I think that's a little bit better. So it doesn't overly punish cheats, it doesn't overly punish hunters or other classes, but it reduces the damage in this cool thematic way. Yep. Yeah, and that's in the core rules. That was added semi recently, I think. Let's go to conditions. Bloodied at half HP or less. There we go. Not Strahd is feeling good. Not Strahd is feeling good. And thanks to this handy dandy sheet that we did, lots of math, we know that like even the first draft is going to be in the ballpark of a very balanced, an encounter that feels fun. It's not gonna if it's unfun, it's not gonna be unfun because it's too hard or too easy. It'll be unfun for another reason. But I think this is gonna be cool. The first against you each turn. First attack against you each turn. The first attack. So this doesn't make sense. I'll reword that a little bit later. So I feel like his elegant sword should be a little bit cooler. Past Evan. Way to go, Past Evan. Making President Evan's life easier. Yeah, what a guy. What a guy. So bat teleport. I'm gonna call it bat shift, but that's too close to something else. So bat teleport. I'll come up with a better name. Whenever not Strahd could move, he may swap places with a bat instead. Cool. Bat minion. Strahd may swap places. Yeah, that's a little bit better. My honey says hi, and she's going to bed. So I'm going to be going to bed soon. Let's see. I would have fallen for that trap. Something else? Oh. Bat shark repellent spray? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay, so I feel like his so we don't need to say move / swap here any longer, but I feel like his cool sword attack should move plus deck should do something more than just damage. What should it do? It shouldn't drain life. We've already got bite. That's something that has to be set up. What should it do? I don't know what bat shark repellent spray is. So it is not a big sword. It shouldn't push. It shouldn't knock prone. It should like pierce. It should really like pierce. Target is considered bloodied for 1 round. Ooh, nice. Oh, oh, Trek. Claws? No, I don't think vampires really have claws. On hit, target is. Ugh. So then he can summon his blood bats. Oh, track. That is so good. That is so good. That is so good. If I stay any longer, I'm gonna have to have Trek send me another invoice. No, thank you, man. That's a great idea. Okay, so move and charm. He's I mean, he's like top 10 French people, top 10, top 5. I don't know that many French people. Call that move blood drunk. Vampires are sweet. Vampires are sweet. Okay, so let's spice up this charm a little bit. I think disadvantage when he's close to a creature is cool. It incentivizes him like moving, and like it sort of disincentivizes like the berserker who has like disadvantage on a will save. So it's definitely a will save, obviously. It's definitely a will save, DC 18, because it is. We looked at our chart already. I'm pretty sure it's DC 18. DC 18, okay. DC 18 disadvantage. Disadvantage is a hard word to say. Spell disadvantage when adject close. I'll work on the wording later, as long as we know what's going on. So charm DC 18 will save. I think charm should do something more than that. Charmed. Yeah, it must be charmed. One charm. So this is going to be a rare. You don't have to roll for it. Attack. They just take 1 piercing damage plus 46 necrotic damage. Ending the charm. Yep. Because they're willing. They're willing. They're letting you bite you. I know that reference to. Call that move. What is man? A miserable little pile of secrets. I don't know what that's from. JP Couvert. Hey man. Thanks for joining. JP Couvert. You guys check out Dragon Town. I just put a video up about it. There's some really cool stuff. JP, are there any vampires in Dragon Town or below? Let us know. Charm brings a character closer to him. So Charm doesn't. And so since Charm is actually Charm is like a conditioned, so we'll probably call it something other than Charmed. What's a good other word? Because it's not actually Charmed. It is. Let's open up a thesaurus. It's not. Charmed, captivated, attractive, mesmerized. Ooh, mesmerized. Beguiled. Beguiled is good. Move and beguile. Beguile's a good word. Possessed. I think any of those would be fine. Not that adventure, but I have an item zine that's got one actually just released to Vampire Castle. Oh yeah, I saw that. My vampire lord is named Nicholas von Shroud from Castle Gloomshroud. I just saw that on the Patreon thing. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Since you just recently designed a a vampire, I'm definitely eager to hear your thoughts. So far, this is what we have, JP. So he has a weakness. He's vulnerable to radiant damage, but I think just vulnerability to damage is kind of boring and is obvious. Brandon's back. Hey, Brandon. So it's basically just gonna be open knowledge, an open secret that this guy's vulnerable to radiant damage. Like if you've ever heard of a vampire before, but like if you deal radiant damage to him, he does something back to you. So like maybe he attacks you, like a reaction he attacks you, or like the next attack he makes against you is with advantage, or like something to punish that. So yes, it deals double damage, but he does something to you that makes you, and what it is, I'm not sure yet. He does something to you that makes you like so that attacking with radiant damage isn't the automatic thing to do. I don't like it when something is automatically always the best option. I want it to be like some sort of cool trade-off. Ooh, enraptured. Ooh, that is good. That is better. Move and enrapture. Maybe that's a little bit too like romance novel. Let's change it back to beckon or beguile. One, because it's more tricked than like fallen in love. Squishy mage with radiant skills. I'm in danger. So I want it to be a trade-off between high damage. Like high damage with the trade-off is cool. Like +1 longsword is like, no, it's fine, but it's kind of boring. But like a longsword where like you can at any point you can roll the additional d6 and you'll do that much damage, but then you'll take like some amount of damage in exchange, that kind of thing. Yeah, mage is not rated. Then he has Sanguine Cloak. The first attack against you each turn, they take the first attacker takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Their attack. Oh, I think we can. The first. I don't know. I have to rephrase it. And then their attack is reduced by that amount. So this is a level 16, like a pretty high level solo creature, and he has no armor. So most solo creatures at this point will have heavy armor or being able to reduce a lot of damage. So this one has none, so it's a good way to reduce the incoming damage in a cool thematic way. He's got Sanguine Cloak. He's got Bat Teleport. We'll change it. We'll work on the name. He's got Bat Teleport. Instead of moving, now Strahd can swap places with Bat Minion instead, and he can summon Bat Minions. And then after each hero's turn, he can move and attack with his Elegant Sword. We'll rename it to something better. Somewhere around like 20 damage. Probably, it's probably gonna be like roughly 20 damage, because he does have some damage coming in with this. Roughly 20 damage, and on hit, the target is considered bloodied for 1 round. And then why does bloodied matter? Because he can summon bloodbat swarms. For each bloodied hero, he turns their blood into bats. So you can like, if you have like 1 bloody hero, like for each one, it's probably gonna be like 2 or 3 bats, something like that. For each bloody hero, summon 2 blood bats. 2 blood bats adjacent to them. Let's just say summon 2 blood bats. You just put them wherever you want. I like that. So this guy's gonna need a lot of testing, but we're gonna be in the neighborhood already. Blood bats. Oh, they're gonna be swarms. Blood bats. Okay, for each blood hero, summon 2 blood bats. That's cool. D4 bats per bloody. So not D4. I don't want to have to roll for it in order to do a thing. Like it should just be 2. That's why it's more predictable. And sometimes it's 1 and it's underwhelming. Sometimes it's 4 and it's too much. Like I just pick 2. Like 2 is fine. 2 is the average. It saves a step, and yeah. And if like there's 5 heroes that are all bloodied, and then you roll a 4 and there's all of a sudden 20 minions, like, or there's just like 5 minions, like it's too swingy. Like the swinginess already comes from the attacks and the vicious crits and that kind of stuff. That kind of thing. So we don't need additional swinginess by like rolling d4s, and we don't want additional steps either. At least I don't. Maybe some people will. Scooch this down. Okay, so he can move and attack, elegant sword, and make like a sort of mark things with bloody. So again, like you're bloody, you're bloody, you're bloody. Summon a bunch of bats, and then once he gets low, he can we can do this. So we'll have these two as the first two things because like that sort of makes sense. Then once he gets low, he can start beckoning and biting. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I think move. I don't think he needs to move here. He can just beguile. Yeah, I think this should just be one thing. Okay, beguile. Beckon and bite. And then we can say if no creature is beguiled. Beguile. There we go. Yes. There we go. That is way better. So it's 3 options. 2 bats plus 1 per bloodied hero. If you want to be more consistent. Yeah. I mean, I like the scaling. The scaling is fine, but like X per hero is fine. Oh, you guys are chatting. Glad to be back. Can finally warm up. Oh yeah. Brandon works in the freezer. He's got a pretty cool job. D4 bats. What about if he's bloodied and a player's bloodied? He goes to a frenzy and deals a bit more damage. So I don't see. I don't see vampires as like a thing that would frenzy, like a creature, a beast would, a dumb thing would. Not Strahd would not be. He would definitely not be. He would not be like a frenzied creature, and he would have advantage on all of his saves. In the literature, they have like grip, like iron grips, and like they're fast and they're smart because they're old. They've been around for a while, so I think they should have saves on everything, but just like one advantage, not two stacks of advantage. So I don't think he would do something if he's bloodied. I think he could do like bat decoy. He could do like a bat decoy type of thing. We'll keep cooking on that. So he can move and attack. So the first few rounds, he's moving, attack, and he's doing things like, oh, I'm bloody. Like, what does that mean? And then, bam, like he does this. And then like once the party sort of gets used to like the cadence of the fight, and then he can start beguiling creatures and chomping them. Full of typos. Bat decoy once per probably once per round. I love bite, beckon, and bleed. Necrotic, nip, hella shaky. Lesser vampires would have less control over their thirst, not strong. Yeah. This guy, he knows what's going on. So he's definitely not like a panicky, type of dude. Should the sword have until they're healed? Ooh, yeah, that's even better, Trek. Consider bloodied until healed. Yeah. Until healed. That's way better. Like let's get you cleaned up. we don't need him summoning blood bats. Yeah, that is better. You are correct. So he's like, I mark you, I mark you, I mark you, and I don't have to like track. Like it's one less thing to track. I don't need to track when like a round has happened. that is indeed better. Bloodied, no longer vulnerable to radiant damage. Like if we can think of a cool name for this bloodied ability, that would make sense to where he would no longer be vulnerable to radiant damage. Like maybe it's like mist form. Like when he's bloodied, he takes mist form or something like that. He's no longer vulnerable to radiant damage. And then once per round, he can like bat decoy, something like that. Like whenever you're being attacked, instead he can just like swap places with a bat. I kind of like that. He's like tricky. Good call. Yeah, yeah, good call. Um, Gentleman Vampire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, Brandon, read. All right, you can listen to the Dracula novel. It's solid, solid story. Jason is super cool. Oh yeah, I thought that's a blood clot, blood cloak, cloak. Okay, a blood cloak. Yeah, so he does have a sanguine cloak, and it does cool stuff. Change to Mist is super cool. Maybe a holy symbol or garlic protects against a bite till they take off. Yeah, I mean that's more of like a role playing thing. I don't want this to turn into like a 2,000 word like spread like explaining how vampires work. Like this is a tight little like stat block. Like this is solid. Cool name: Sunsetter, Unholy Resistance, Lord of Mist. Sunsetter? Oh, okay. Text just really small. Oh, text is really small on phone. Yeah. Sorry, I can only zoom in so far until like I can't see it. I could zoom in a little bit more. There you go. Just a little bit bigger, a little bit more chunky. Okay. Dusk Till Dawn makes me want to run it. Oh man, this go ahead, run it. Yeah. The numbers should be pretty close already. Last stand. All right, so let's think about what the last stand could be. So instead of like some big damage thing, like that's predictable but kind of boring. Like he will have already pumped out a lot of damage. If we just like every hero takes like 20 damage, like that might just kill everybody. So last stand has to be more interesting than just more damage. What could it be? Last stand. So I think when he is bloodied. Hmm. Hmm. So one thing I'm concerned about, I don't want him like biting too often. I think it should be like once per hero. Once per hero. Um, um, Once a hero is. Something like that. So like I don't want the GM to feel like the correct way is to like just constantly do this and like drag this out for too long. We need to be super duper careful with this with the healing. Yeah, yeah. That would be that's a lot of healing. And maybe okay. So maybe this should just be like a once per encounter ability. Maybe that should be a once per encounter ability. I don't know. We do have to be careful about healing because it can quickly turn a fight into a slog. Let's see, Bruno. I was playing a one shot with a vampire at the end. I must bring this stat down to level 5. Yeah, you can do it super duper easily. Here you go. Here are the level 5 stats. It would be very easy to reduce this to a level 5 dude. There you go. Just copy pasta. Second form? No, I don't think we need a second form. Like there's sort of like a mist form. Will the PDFs be more expensive after the pre-orders? Yes. So once everything is finished, the price, the discount will be either gone or reduced. So the people who are putting their trust and faith in me to finish this and have a cool thing, they get a big fat discount. But if you wait until everything is done, then like cool, like you get you get the thing right away. Like you didn't have to wait at all. You didn't have to like go through all of the revisions and stuff. So it's going to cost more. Yep, I think that's fair. White Death was the name of TB conversation with Vampirism. Was it? Okay. Ooh, JP says, could you make it a story thing? Like he'll come back in 100 years unless the players destroy off piece of him. Absolutely. Yeah, I would totally add that to like the adventure. Like the adventure would have like that kind of cool thing. But would every vampire lord have that? You know, I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, that kind of thing is super spicy. I love that kind of stuff. And isn't that kind of what happened with in the story of Dracula also? Like they killed him and then like they took him back to back to his house and his dirt and all that sort of stuff. It's been a while since I read it. Maybe turn it into a giant bat as a last stand. Show he discarded his human form, fully embraced animalistic hunger. So not animalistic hunger, but yeah, maybe giant bat, giant bat, giant bat. Should bat decoy have an asterisk to refer to 100? No, I'll type the whole thing. So it feels bad, but it's once per round. He can't just do this all the time, and you do at least kill the bat minion, which isn't nothing. Maybe a curse. Ooh, maybe a curse. That's cool. Curses are nice. Curse. Mm-hmm. The curse of Strahd, right? The not curse of not Strahd. Beguile, bite, steal a hit die and regains. Yeah, I want to be careful about the healing himself. This is such a thematic thing. He has to have a bite thing where he heals himself. I feel like it has to have that. It's not a vampire if it doesn't have it. You're not a dragon if you don't have the breath weapon or something like that. So it has to be able to charm you and beguile you and bite you. Maybe he can only heal himself once. How about unspeakable word? One hero at last stand. That's kind of cool. We could that JP, that might be the curse. The unspeakable word is the curse. I like that. The bite could empower him instead of healing him. I think it still fits the aesthetic. It could, yeah. Yeah, maybe we don't need heal. Vampiric greed. Vampiric greed. Let's check out the necrotic spells. Okay, so we do have Vampiric Greed. So Void Cloak was a cool thing. Vampiric Greed deal a bunch of damage, creatures within 5 feet, heal hit points equal to damage done. Then make a strength save, and you gain a wound for each creature that saves. I mean, they don't have wounds. Maybe like you take some damage. Summon Greater Shadow? No. Maybe you could summon a Greater Bat, and then they explode into into like a bunch of bat minions. Gangrenous Burst. Damage creatures within 20 feet take 6d12 damage on a fail. I got spooky things happening out there. Maybe with disadvantage when bloodied. That's kind of cool. That would go with his cool sword. Unspeakable word. A target dies, so like they would be reduced to 0 hit points. Yeah, I don't know. The bite could empower him. Okay, so let's add some notes. Healing. How about a no healing? Question mark. Curse. Empowered. Ooh, what if when he's empowered, his attacks roll d20s instead? He gets like juiced up. What if it's that? Like, what if his attacks are d8s or d10s? Like, instead for like his next attack is d20s, or for the next round his attacks roll d20s. And then when he's last stand, during his last stand, he is empowered the whole time. Huh? What do you guys think about that? That's cool. Now we're cooking. Let's do giant bat question mark. So instead of healing him, because that's just more math, either they are cursed. Them being cursed is cool, but his attacks, like just dealing a honking truckload of damage, is pretty sweet. I like that. Um, ooh, and then radiant, maybe radiant damage could de-empower him? Question mark. Maybe as a like a counterplay to it. How about the bite prevents the hero from healing for X turns per round? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that could be the curse. The curse could be can't be healed for 1 round. Can't be healed for 1 round. That's kind of cool. Kind of like a mosquito. Like when he bites you, like he kind of spits a little bit in there, give you a little bit of spice. Would people have like 40 20s laying around? Oh yeah, no. I totally. I've got like here 60 20s. They're not even laying around, man. They're just right here. Like yeah, absolutely. And it would probably only be like 2d20 or 3d20 or something like that. And it wouldn't be like 10 or something. Most of the advice. Let's scroll up to the monsters. So most of the advice is like 2d8, 3d8, 4d8, that kind of stuff. And probably I'm gonna cut these down to like have fewer 2, 3, or 4, and then just increase the modifier. That kind of thing. Because like that's a lot of stuff to add up. Oh, we were already on the right document. I'm starting to really like this this not Strahd guy. He is saucy. I like the loop and power depower. It's kind of cool. Like what if he's just juiced up? Like instead of this, because like there's already enough stuff going on here. He's just juiced up for his like his next for the round. He's juiced up for the round. Excuse me. Empowered for 1 round. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So in that gives a good cadence of like we don't want to do this all the time because like he's already empowered. He doesn't want to be biting people all the time. Like we spread it out. So like the mechanics inform the play, and it's simple mechanics. Like I'm gonna simplify this. So I think no heal self, and it does end the ends the condition. So like you're just walking on being beguiled all the time. And that does distinguish him a lot more from the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer's doing more of the tricksy stuff. Okay, we'll save. There we go. Roll it. Blah, 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 blah. Curse can't be healed. HEL. Heal it for 1 round. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. In mist form, he's no longer vulnerable to radiant damage. So, all right, so like you can like bring him low pretty quick, and then that sort of goes away. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. You guys are doing some cool stuff. And then once per round, he can bat decoy. Whenever you take damage, instead swap place with a bat minion. Cool. And then giant bat, he's empowered the whole time. I think that's cool. The last thing we need to figure out is this. So what is the thing that he does? Ooh, maybe he just beguiles you. Maybe that's it. Make a with he glares at you. And I'll make the name better. The name will definitely be better than. Maybe we'll see what his advantage. Beguiled on failure. Cool. And we need to say DC 18. Cool. I like that. So if you smack him with radiant damage, then there's a good chance he's going to get juiced up. That's cool. It's more interesting than him just like hitting you with damage. I like that. Now I gotta find some vampire art. Thanks a lot, guys. Now I gotta find some vampire art. I really like that. I think we did need a vampire. We did need a vampire, but this guy would be very, very spicy. So he's level 16, but again, it would be and is trivial to make him a vampire for any level. Just tweak the numbers, and it'll feel exactly as challenging. Should we clarify that the beguiled creature has to be within biting distance? Yeah, yeah. This is very much pre-alpha broad strokes. This is just like raw notes for me. Is essentially what's here. So yeah, the language will be cleaned up. The names will be made cooler. Things will be tweaked. If something needs to be like once per encounter, once per round, or whatever, I'll tweak that. But yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Orlando. You're exactly right. Okay, cool. What uses necrotic attack? He chuckles as he pours a glass of wine. So he's not resistant to necrotic. Um, he's not resistant to necrotic. It's sort of like if you're used to spicy food, but then you go to India, like it's a different kind of spice. Like you're used to necrosis and that kind of thing. But like not you're not used to like that. You've had the flu, like, but there's always a new strain, right? I think that kind of makes sense. Portal instead of bat teleport, vampire portal. No, I think bat teleport's fine. I think, like he just bat teleports. Okay. It is late here, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there so that I don't mess up my entire sleep schedule. So the other night when I stayed up to like 3 or 4 cooking up some stuff, it really messed up my sleep schedule for a while. So I'm gonna be careful not to do that. I want to be responsible. But yeah, we got some cool monsters that we have. We need to do a little bit more. Maybe next time we can go over Tidebreaker. And actually, I think Trek had a cool basis for like Tidebreaker being like a cold dragon, ice dragon that like makes walls, like walls of ice that can like sort of control the battlefield type of thing. So we might cook on that a little bit next time. Cool. All right, guys. Appreciate all of the cool insights and feedback and encouragement and all of that. Really appreciate you guys. We'll keep going next time. All right. See ya. Oh, I gotta find the button. Gotta find the button. There it is.